Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to Order 66, the Star Wars podcast. We're swerving in with episodes. Sorry, I thought of that joke 5 seconds ago when we looked up the episodes.
Like a split. The second you mentioned it was going to be 66, I'm like, oh man, someone's going to reference this.
Someone's gonna.
I did it.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the TNT podcast, episode 66. As always, I'm your host, Timpedia. And on my right,
I'm Andrew, mostly known as Friedman, but I keep screwing up the order. You can call me Friedman.
And on my left,
I keep it simple with just Tyler.
We don't have massive amounts of news today.
Okay. Yeah.
Tyler, sometimes
these are all pretty short.
A lot of these are like,
except for like the last part of the week, that all these are really short.
Well, also, I mean, honestly, the first three could almost, well, no, the second one could almost be a topic on its own, but we'll try to take it quick. Yeah, whatever, Tyler, so what? We're just gonna let's just get it out of the way real quick. I don't even really want to talk about this, Freeman. I don't know about you, but
I do, real quick. Listeners, if you play Magic the Gathering, the sky is falling, and there's nothing we can do about it. So let's stop hyperbole for a split second.
All right, so Wizards is bad at everything that's not actually printing the literal text on the cards, and that's all we need to leave it at because.
So here's the thing.
Everything else is bad.
So right now, and for anyone who's under a rock, everything in the world is digital now. So when Magic Arena went into beta last year, it became the new hotness. This is the new Hearthstone killer.
Busted.
And Wizards is, what's the phrase for it? They're turning hard into it. So last year they had announced this big budget for their
$10 million.
It was for like competitive play, and now they're like slowly pivoting to like, oh, this is an esports budget. So all it's kind of telling to everyone is that they're investing hard into Arena, and they're not investing in paper competitive. On top of that, they made a lot of announcements regarding how competitive will work on Magic Arena, including what seems to be the phasing out of the traditional best of 3 games format, where you play one game, and then for games 2 and potentially 3, you have a sideboard of 15 cards that you can bring in to help up your bad matchups. This is one of the most critical parts of Magic because unlike other
competitive
games,
Magic.
Well, sorry, yes. Unlike other
I only want to clarify because like Commander, like the casual stuff, doesn't use the sideboard.
Yeah,
which is
I'm
also
strictly for tournament formats.
No, I know. I agree with you, but that is kind of like I bet Commander is one of those underlying factors in this decision. But we're not talking about that. Keep going.
So one of the big things that Magic suffers from that other card games don't is that your resource system is what's the term? Heavily gated by RNG. Mm-hmm. In Hearthstone, you get, I don't even know what they call it mana, but you get one more mana per turn, and that mana can be used on anything. In Magic, you are not always guaranteed to draw a land, or you might draw too much, or not enough, or not the right color. Because of that, games are very subject to just law of random numbers. So having more games is better. Having games where you're allowed to change up what's in your deck to accommodate what you're doing helps you deal with that variance. Wizards is pushing this explicit best of 1 format with no sideboards, or even worse, they're pushing this new concept called Duo Standard, which is instead of entering a deck, you enter 2 decks, and the game randomly picks which of your 2 decks you're going to play against your opponent, who's also playing one of their randomly selected 2 decks. And the idea behind this is we're adding more randomness and lowering the skill cap of what competitive Magic is.
And that sounds funky.
It's bad. It's very bad.
It's not bad from Wizards' point of view because Arena.
So the people who've played Magic a long time don't like it. The kids who just jumped in from Hearthstone, the same ones who also jumped in after Artifact failed, the same ones who are going to jump away from Magic once the first rotation happens, that's who Wizards is playing to here. And that annoys the entrenched community.
So I totally agree. As someone who just even watches competitive and has never played competitive or even played with a sideboard outside of one night I played Standard at my old store.
You're missing out.
I don't actually think I am because I love Commander too much, and it's a lot more. So as a Commander player, I only play best of 1s. But the thing is, I recognize that for competitive, this is stupid. But the reason Wizards is doing this, for sure, I know you said that these people are going to jump ship quickly. I actually strongly think that's still not true, only because Magic as a game is both super deep and welcoming at the same time. Like with Arena, Magic finally has that bridge to get the brand new player into the deeper game, and there's so much more in Magic than there is in things like Hearthstone, just because Hearthstone has that limitation of being tied to a class. So there's always some kind of limit. Magic is only limited by your personal creativity. That's kind of the genius of Magic, is you can build any deck you want. It might not work, but nothing in the rules stops you from putting together literally, like, no kid can't just take all their cool cards and put them in a deck with a mana base, and it won't work, but they could do it. Hearthstone, you can't combine cards and things like that. Artifact was too much of an on-ramp, and honestly, the economy... Just the news about the economy killed Artifact before it even took off. Artifact's pretty much dead now, I'm pretty sure, already.
Yeah, it's not. It's really struggling.
But like, I don't see, honestly, unless Wizards fucks up, which is very possible, because you're not even done with this story yet, Freeman, about like video coverage and everything.
I've got the second part of the story doesn't have to do with this best of 3. It has to do with something else, but still, Sky's Falling.
But Magic is just such... I honestly think the reason I've played Magic for so long, with mostly Commander, is just because Magic is such a fun game to play. And it makes you... For me, at least, it makes me want to play more, because the randomness in drawing cards feels different from the randomness of, like, Hearthstone, where you roll a dice or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair, too.
Yeah, no, yeah. Ignore that. Just keep going.
But it's just this is why I don't even want to talk about it, because I recognize that it's such a struggle between two forces. Arena seems to be so good for Magic. Magic has never been more of a hot topic issue than right now, because Arena is drawing in all these people, and best of ones is apparently 90%, isn't some of the stats that are thrown around on the subreddit, Freeman?
So I'm not gonna lie. When I play, I don't play ranked, so I just do quick play. So 90% of my games are best of one, because I'm just trying to do dailies for free packs.
That's the thing, the esportsiness. I honestly think the reason Hearthstone was so successful wasn't even because it was a card game. It's because it was a game that took 5 minutes, whereas games like League or all these other MOBAs that were super huge at the time, or MMOs like WoW, this fills the niche of something quick, which is what a best of one is in Magic, unless you play Control, obviously. But if you build a mono red deck in Magic, you win by turn 5, and that's a 10-minute game tops. Or you just die and concede. So it still caters to that, but it can also do that long thing. It has so much in it. And then Wizards is the worst thing for Magic, because they fuck up everything around this game. We weren't even really going to talk about it, but I mentioned it for a second. Part of this whole... So Tyler, Freeman mentioned that $10 million, right? Mm-hmm. They had this whole thing where they're basically going to go from this model of having Pro Tours and Grand Prix and everything. They're going to have 32 of the best players salaried, and they go to the big tournaments every time. That's how Wizards is going to play it now. They earn $70K a year, and they're in this circuit of 32, the pros, basically. They're the mythic, whatever it is called. The $10 million is for prizes and everything, and to support that. However, just this past week, or past 2 weeks, since we didn't do the show last week, it has come to light that Wizards doesn't seem to ever plan for any more video coverage of any tournaments that are not Pro Tour or Mythic level tournaments. No more Grand Prix that happen every weekend somewhere in the world.
No more weekend video content.
Yes. Except maybe we're going from basically every weekend to once a month, maybe, if there's a big tournament. And not even text coverage on their own website anymore of the best decks. Channel Fireball, who runs the events for Wizards, is now going to pick that up and put it on their website. So it seems like this $10 million that was injected into this by Hasbro / Wizards actually seems to have been squeezed out of everywhere else to save money, but to have this big thing. It's like, where can we pinch 10,000 little cuts for $10,000 each to get our million, is what seems to have happened. And they seem to have completely cut coverage of paper Magic as a response. And it's just, and Wizards has been completely silent on this.
And that is why the sky is falling. But for more actual bullshit in the Magic community, Tyler, I want you to look towards our Discord, because I'm going to talk about a card in particular. Tim and I have talked about this card in the past. Over the summer when M19 came out, this was Wizards' second attempt at doing this. They used to do this thing called box toppers for standard sets, where they would include either like a foil or like promo art of a card that was in the set. And they were super bad at predicting, what cards would be good. So a lot of times you had duds and no one gave a shit about it. So no one was buying these boxes. Starting with the spring set of last year, they started making the box topper card exclusive. That was the only way you could get it. The first one they printed, it was
Summon Speaker, very neat in Commander.
But there was no demand. I think it ended up at like a $3 card for the most part. Over the summer, for the core set, they printed this card called Nexus of Fate. This card is super duper busted, and I'm going to explain to the listeners why real quick. So, in Magic, occasionally they'll print a card that says, take an extra turn after this one. Ever since it was around the mid-90s, they figured out that they started printing cards to let you either bring stuff back from your graveyard or cast things out of your graveyard, and they realized these extra turn effects shouldn't be able to be repeated. It's bad if you can take that extra turn again and again. So almost all of these cards said, like, exile instead of putting it into your graveyard. Over the summer, they printed one that is not only an instant, so you can play it at any time, but when you play it, instead of going into your graveyard, it goes back into your library. What this ends up meaning is that in a hypothetical scenario, if you just keep taking more turns over and over again, you will never deck yourself or run out of cards, which will otherwise cause you to lose the game. So what this means is there are players, and this is happening especially on Arena, they are just taking an infinite number of turns over and over again without advancing the board state.
Amazing.
In competitive Magic, a judge will give you a disqualification because that's actually illegal play. But online, they can't, like, as a
There's
software
no
developer,
judge.
I understand 100%. It's super difficult to figure out if someone's not advancing the board state. So it's becoming this problem where players, and especially there were streamers who were stuck in 2-hour matches where it's been their opponent's turn for 2 hours because they keep taking more and more turns.
No, it's not been their, well, sorry, it's not been their turn, it's been their actions,
extra turn.
They've kept taking an extra turn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's never actually come back to the players being held hostage for 2 hours, and they can either concede or watch their opponent just keep playing solitaire. And this is becoming a big hot topic issue. Thankfully, I don't play I don't play against Nexus of Fate decks that frequently. And usually after they cast the first time, I know I don't want to play this game anymore, and I just resign so I can go play a different game. But
you shouldn't have to do that.
But for people who are playing competitive and you like, your record matters. You're playing to win. You will not do what I do. I concede for time constraints, but when you're playing competitively, you don't do that. And it's absolute bullshit this is happening to them. And that's probably like the big actual sky is falling issue in the Magic community right now is, what do we do about this? This card has been problematic on multiple fronts, but at the same time, it's not like this is the most busted card ever. I don't know if it really deserves a ban, but this is problematic for the community at large on multiple levels.
Last word on this, because we do need to shift topics.
Yes.
Wizards recently told everyone that they are introducing ban lists that are they are separating the standard ban list between best of 3 and best of 1. And with that announcement, a lot of people believe that means Nexus of Fate is getting the ban in best of 1s just because it is too strong. And if you don't kill the person and they resolve the first one, there's a good chance that they just win the game. So that's, people honestly are talking about the fact that this might be the card that made them decide that they will do that. Because in best of 3s, this means nothing. You just sideboard really to go faster or run hand disruption or something like that, and it's fine. But in best of 1s, you can't do anything like this. If you don't have a counter spell and you can't kill them fast enough, well, then you're stuck. You're literally trapped into conceding.
And part of what you just said is a large argument for why people like having best of 3. It lets you have a chance to fight in games 2 and 3, whereas best of 1, unless you're like pre-set up to take down a particular deck, you may just get hard countered and that's it, game over.
The last thing I'm going to say on Magic, and it's just because it's funny, I was on the Magic subreddit while you were talking for a while there, Friedman, and literally that Hipsters of the Coast website, one of the the third page of Reddit, the sky is not falling. I just thought that timing was great.
Man,
but let's talk. What? No, go ahead.
I'll say that just kind of sucks. Like,
yep, it's a lot of shit.
The whole situation, but like, I mean, I don't know. You can't prepare for like every single thing to come your way, especially in an online game such as like an online card game of all things.
It's kind of funny because Hearthstone never had best of anything but one. There is no sideboarding in Hearthstone. It's only such an issue here because we're losing it. And there are still cards, like Wizards has talked about, we are now printing cards with best of one in mind. It's why the split cards in the two most recent Ravnica sets have two very different but still useful in situation abilities because they designed them to never be a dead card in a best of one.
Yeah,
they have actually said that. Yeah. But at the same time, I actually kind of like that because as a Commander player, cards that focus on best of one are better in my format.
Yeah, they really are.
Anyway, but let's move off of one shitty thing to another shitty thing. We cannot talk about this for long because it makes me really fucking mad. Do you guys know about this too?
Yes, but do you know about the follow up to the headline you put in the notes?
I think so, but I'll do the first one and then you can add it.
And then I'll jump in if you're wrong.
All right, so this is... I'm just going to keep this quick. Basically, actually, last week, I did a live stream. I actually did a live stream Tuesday night because we weren't doing the podcast. And that was the day where the developers, 4A Games, and published by Deep Silver, of Metro Exodus, a game I have been very excited for. Tyler, I think you probably have been too, because you liked the old Metro games.
I am curious about it. I'm interested in seeing it, and I was gonna plan on probably buying it if it was good.
Okay, well, I was gonna do the same.
Yeah.
I was probably gonna do what I did. I'll talk about it later. Too much of today. Buying it on 50% off or something like that. And after it's had some updates and has a complete version and everything. That's what I've been doing lately. And again, I'll talk about it later. They announced we are taking our game off of Steam. And we are going exclusively with the Epic Store for 1 year from release. And everyone lost their fucking minds. Rightfully so, I think. Now, I think that people review bombing the old Metro games on Steam is petty and stupid. But at the same time, I can understand the sentiment of we need to say fuck you somehow. Because this is shitty. Steam put out an announcement that, hey, you have 24 hours to still pre-order this game. I missed the window because I wasn't going to pay $60 for a game that then had upgrades and everything, and fuck that. I'll buy it next year. Tyler, you'll probably do the same thing if you buy it on PC. Buy it in February next year when it's off Epic Store. But Steam said, after this, we're still going to give it to you guys. You'll still get updates and everything, but you cannot buy the game after this pre-order day today. You have to go to the Epic Store. And everybody was furious. Like, how could you not announce... How could you start taking pre-orders on other stores and then suddenly twist just because Epic has all the money in the world because of fucking Fortnite, and they are trying to take advantage of Fortnite and their money to build up their Epic Store and buy all these exclusives. It feels so shitty and manipulative, and it's ridiculous that you, like, swerve into this after... You know that people are going to get pissed off about it.
It sounds like, this is going to be a theme for tonight, anti-consumer practices.
Kinda, yeah. And by kinda, I mean yes. However, Freeman, I don't know if this is what you were going to talk about, but later, one of the devs from 4A made a post in Russian that was translated, and he basically said, well, the consumers are actually just being babies. All you have to really do is download another installer. It's really not that much. It's really not a lot of work to just download an installer and pay through it there and play it there. And then also, we're going to kind of threaten you because if this game doesn't do very well on PC, we might not bring any future Metro games to PC. And they... quickly, I think later that day or the next day, they put out another statement saying, no. We are absolutely not if this game is, we are not threatening anyone. We're not saying it will never come to PC. We would love PC. We love PC. We want to put future games on PC.
Yeah, that was the problem I was going to bring up. That it wasn't the devs; it was the publisher, who's not the developers. Deep Silver, I think, is the publishers. They were the ones like, "Whoa, back the fuck up. We're not threatening the PC community."
So, but everyone lost their minds, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's not some installer. It's an entirely different store, ecosystem, and login. Like, you don't just... This isn't like Uplay where, yes, you install it, but you can still buy the games through Steam. You can still launch them through Steam, and then they use Uplay on top of it. That's fine. It's annoying, and I don't like it, but it's like another Origin. It's like, this is the same thing that's happening with streaming services. Everyone realizes the pie is there and they want a piece, so let's just start slicing it up and ruining everything. Let's just fucking ruin it so we can make some money. And that's what's happening here. And the dev is being completely disingenuous. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I guess I did. I don't know what to say about this because I feel like I'll get hate.
Why? No. What?
We only have like 4 viewers. It's fine.
You have 4 viewers. I mean, it's like, as sucks as it is, it's like, I don't know, there's nothing you can really do about, you know, people going to another platform, you know? It's like, if people want to do it, then, like, they're going to do it.
So I honestly think, I don't know. So I never thought the Metro games were that big. Apparently they're really big, but I always thought they were just decently, like, they're in that rare game of B tier, you know what I mean? Where they're not a AAA, but they're definitely not indie anymore. So they're in this, like, big rapidly shrinking B zone. And I always just saw them as that, and I always thought PC was one of the biggest proponents of these games. Like,
no, I was very big on Xbox.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I always thought, I thought PC was a big one, and I know that they have the redux of both games on PC, partially so they could get, like, higher versions of DirectX going with them. But, like, it's just, if I feel like the internet wouldn't be nearly this pissed if before pre-orders started this was announced. It feels like Epic dumped a shit ton of money on their front step and said, "Give us the exclusive now," and they did. And
they're like, "Ah, hey, yeah."
And it just feels shitty. And then to have them come back and be like, try to play it off like that's not what happened, feels so disingenuous. Where it's like, nah. You just wanted the money. Don't give me this bullshit about it's just an installer.
Come on, man.
It's like saying, it's like it used to be on Netflix and Hulu, and then Hulu paid for it and said, now yeah, and then the producer of the show is like, it's just another service. It's really not that bad.
Yeah,
you are now building a separate library on this Epic store. Most PC gamers, for me personally, 98%, not even counting all the shitty games and DLC and shit I don't care about, like all those indie things from Humble Bundles and stuff, 98% of the games on PC I care about these days are in the Steam store. It has to be only on Origin for me to get it, and Metro ain't the game that makes me go to that. I buy games on Origin because they had Star Wars games, and they had all the Command & Conquer games after they took them off Steam. That felt shitty too, but there was no, like, pre-release of a new game. Just, I don't know. We don't even need to keep talking. Yeah, it just...
Let's move on to more disappointment for Tim. I like this.
Well, we talk about Star Wars on here, and this is exactly what happens. Like, it's not like this is new.
You care about Apex Legends? What the fuck?
So
they
actually,
even got robots, Tim.
I didn't actually add this story, but literally Google threw up an update to an article that maybe gives a little bit of hope to this headline.
That's right, Tyler, it was me, Dio.
Oh, god damn it.
I did know this story. I didn't actually feel like adding it because I didn't want to get pissed off at another topic, but sure. Tyler, why don't you introduce this one, because you haven't introduced the topic yet.
Oh, yeah.
Or you don't want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Oh, no, I didn't know they deconfirmed Titanfall 3.
So let's back it up.
I don't know what's happening.
So Respawn Entertainment, we know, is working on this Star Wars game, like Fallen Jedi or whatever the fuck.
I think that's
Or
everyone
whatever
thought they were working on Titanfall 3 also, because Titanfall 2 was so goddamn good that even though it probably didn't sell as well as it could have, the people who love Titanfall 2 really fucking want Titanfall 3.
And guess what? They ain't getting Titanfall 3, are they, Tim?
No, out of the blue, Respawn puts out this game called Apex Legends, which is quote, set in the Titanfall universe, actually. 30 years after 2, I think, is it what I read in this article that was now since updated. It's a 3-man team, 20-team battle royale game. That's all I know about it. Also, it had 1 million active players in the first 24 hours. So apparently it's doing great.
I mean, that's what happens when you're a free game. A lot of people love
exactly. It's free to play. That's how Fortnite did it. That's how they fucking got him.
That's how everyone's doing it.
Ha! Got him.
But Respawn also during this, so during an interview or something, one of the owners of Respawn said, "This is what we've been working on. We have no further plans. We have nothing in development right now for Titanfall further than this." And now, literally right now, on PC Gamer, there's an updated article that says, in its quarterly earnings call today, EA said that it has a new premium Titanfall something coming this year, which is not another free-to-play thing. The quote from Andrew Wilson at EA: "While I don't have any more to share with the particulars of what we have coming from Titanfall, Respawn are a tremendously creative team. They always anticipated that Apex Legends would be a spectacular game in the Battle Royale genre, and that they'd use that as a ramp point to deliver a truly creative take on what Titanfall is in a premium context later on this year." So, that somehow implies... You know what that implies to me? Remember how Fortnite launched with Battle Royale, and technically there's a purchasable game under there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what is happening, because I'm pretty sure the article I read earlier made it sound like Respawn felt this could not be a mode in Titanfall 3. Like, Respawn put out Apex Legends because they didn't want to build some kind of mode for Titanfall 2 or build a new game, a Battle Royale, like, into Titanfall 3. I wonder, though, if this is going to be the kind of circumstance where, hey, this is the prequel Battle Royale free-to-play, and if you care about Titanfall... I don't know, somehow... Tyler, am I correct? Like, it sounds like you might have... Didn't we read earlier that there was no other Titanfall?
Yeah.
Like, this update I just read seems to throw that all out of the water. Like, EA seems to be saying, yes, there's going to be some kind of paid Titanfall.
There's going to be Titanfall, guys. What are you saying?
You know what would really suck is if it's paid DLC for Apex Legends.
No, there's no way. So...
Yeah, there's no way.
One of the big
we're talking about EA, right?
I understand that, but one of the big things I want to bring up in this article is that what's his name, Drew McCoy. He wanted to like set the record straight. He's like, look, we want to get everyone's expectations clear here because this isn't Titanfall 3, and in his exact words, to try and convince a skeptical audience for months with trailers and hands-on articles, we're just like let the game speak for itself. And then he goes on to say that we're doing a free-to-play game essentially with loot boxes after we were bought by EA. And it's not Titanfall 3. It's the perfect recipe for a marketing plan gone awry. He's acknowledging that everything that they're doing is like shitty press because nobody actually wants that. You can hear it in what he's saying. So part of this is him saying, like, we got to set the record straight. We're not going to go around and brag about some shit that gamers aren't super happy about. We're just going to release it and let you enjoy it. That said, he doesn't want everyone flipping out about whether or not Titanfall 3 is happening. This is how I see it, is this is their chance to prove to EA, like, look, we can release a fucking game. If you want this shit, you can have it, but like, let us prove ourselves. And this is them doing the EA wants a free-to-play battle royale with microtransactions. We'll deliver on that. But they also don't want to get everyone riled up for Titanfall 3 and then get pissed. They're trying to say here, like, this is what we're doing, just cool the fuck down.
Just cool the fuck down.
I don't know if I completely agree, only because they already have a Star Wars game in development, and apparently it's the only one in fucking development right now.
What the
is this
fuck?
What?
That, like, how is it the only one?
Don't you remember that we had the story like 2 or 3 weeks ago about how the only one that was like originally at Visceral and then had the Uncharted director lady and all this other shit, and then it got fully canned?
I know, but like I understand.
And there's no other news about another Battlefront at DICE or anything, and there's no other announced fucking Star Wars games. Yeah, Freeman, why do you think I'm so fucking pissed about Star Wars all the time? Because this is the shit that's been happening since EA took over. It's fucking atrocious.
Yeah,
wow, yeah.
You know what? Is a racist.
No, look,
that's
Titanfall 3, gotta have it. Can't wait. Fuck, I'm not gonna play Apex Legends. Who cares? I don't think any of us are.
It ain't even got robots. It doesn't even have robots.
Yeah,
so the only
you don't even.
The only reason I'd be willing to play it is I've been waiting for a battle royale that actually has good gameplay mechanics. I can't stand not being able to actually hit anyone in a fucking shooter, aka PUBG. I don't like building Fortnite. I just want to play a fucking normal battle royale. I'm gonna give this one a shot because it's free. There, I said it.
Oh, that's fine.
I was gonna say, could you fucking imagine a battle royale game where the maps are like 3 times bigger, but everyone's in a fucking Titan? Could you imagine a battle royale game where there's Titans?
I mean, that would be pretty fucking dope.
Dude, I would actually give a shit about that fucking battle royale game. All right, talk about a good video game, or a sort of good video game. Yeah, see, that's why sort of good.
It's been a week since Kingdom Hearts 3 is out, and now people are starting to see it for what it is. Everyone at first is all gung-ho. We've waited 13 years for this game. Now that everyone's had a chance to beat it, which I haven't, everyone's starting to realize there's some cracks in the paint. Kingdom Hearts 3 does have some very serious flaws. And now you're starting to see this schism between people who will defend this game to the death and those who actually think it's a steaming pile of garbage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to unsubscribe from a lot of different subreddits that are talking about Kingdom Hearts because it's becoming a pretty heated debate and everyone's throwing on a lot of spoilers.
Yeah.
The one I saw that convinced me to quit was that someone, and Tyler, I'm pretty sure you're catching on to this, is that they really backloaded the story in this game.
Yes.
So for anyone going into Kingdom Hearts 3, you know that after the end of the last game, Dream Drop Distance, Sora lost all of his abilities.
Exactly.
Sounds like your gameplay mechanic thing of like why no one's busted in level 1.
Yes.
They tell you that Sora is going to fucking Hercules World to get his powers back. And I, going into this game, thought, okay, cool. That's how they're going to get us through the tutorial. And then once you get back in, it's going to be like Kingdom Hearts plot all throughout. I am on the next to last Disney World in the game, and Sora still doesn't have his powers back, and we haven't started the plot yet. And I'm getting really fucking nervous because I thought the plot was, prequel is, Sora gets power back and then the game is the final battle, until it turns out the whole game is the story of Sora getting his powers back for this final battle. So I'm getting nervous going into the ending.
Well,
I'm in danger.
Yeah. That said, I'm having a lot of fun. A lot of people are criticizing this game for being a button masher. But I will use every opportunity to remind everyone that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance are all button mashers. So
man, I don't think
really
it was
fault it because, well, here's the thing. Since Kingdom Hearts 2, you've played a lot of games with very like technical combat systems. You've played Witcher, you've played Dark Souls, you've played all these things where timing and like actually making strategic attacks matter.
Nah, man, hit it with the Keyblade.
And ever since Kingdom Hearts 1, it's just fucking finish your X combo and then run around until Cure's off cooldown.
That is true, but I also feel like it wasn't as hectic as it is in this one. Like, there's so much shit going on screen at once, and that's like my biggest complaint. Aside from it being super babu easy at the moment. By the way, listeners,
right, it is super easy.
We're playing on Proud Mode, which is the hardest difficulty.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah, both of us are.
Wait, both? Wow, I thought Wii was like a royal Wii. I didn't realize you're both playing.
No. Not even. No,
so the reason I did it was because in general, in Kingdom Hearts, the harder difficulty you play, the easier it is to unlock the secret movie. And it turns out the secret movie is balls easy to unlock regardless. The point is, the difficulty in this game is pretty low. Like I've died twice in this game, and it's because, and this is a limitation of the engine, is that if an enemy's off screen, to avoid the camera clipping through enemies, they just make enemies that are behind your camera fade out or be almost completely invisible. Yeah, and I got hit by an AoE attack that was behind me that didn't render. So those are the only 2 deaths I had, and that was just like bullshit. But
Have you died? I know you played less,
I'm
but
trying to remember. I died on a gummy ship part. That's it. That's all
I don't blame you. Those parts suck. They always do.
Yeah, I got into a gummy ship part that oh my god, like I clearly wasn't prepared for this fight. Like clearly not. And so I was like, "No, let's try it anyway." I got fucking destroyed. Like,
so is that the part of the game that I feel like I saw a thing on Reddit like one time, like a post or something, a comment that was like, "There's one aspect of this game that really sucks." Is it?
I mean, it's always the gummy
things?
ship part.
So
It's always.
Suck, but there's a small part of the community that really loves it, and they keep including it for them. Like they're the ones who really love the fucking dive sequence and Dream Drop Distance. And I gotta hand it to them. The fact they did this whole like full world like space flight system for the gummy ship was way cooler. They have this whole like asteroid mining sub thing going on to get resources to like build better keyblades or whatever. This is probably the best implementation. That said, I've never liked gummy ships, so take it as you will.
I never really liked the gummy ships either. So the way I feel about gummy ships is that it's a completely different mechanic that they could have easily put towards making the game better, but instead they just decided to make a whole nother game.
Like they made that's a really bad space shooter.
Like, why? Like, you know, if I wanted to play this, I'd rather go play Star Fox.
For real.
Like that. Like that's just how I feel. Like, and but that being said, there are some things I like about it.
Yeah, I was gonna do the one thing I really love and the one thing I really hate.
Yeah, like. Oh wait, what? The one thing we like and the one thing we hate.
One thing you love, one thing you hate, and then I'll do mine.
Oh yeah, that works. So the one thing I like about the game, and I guess what kind of kept me playing through all the Kingdom Hearts games is the worlds. Like even though there are stories that I've, obviously have seen before, and everybody and their mother has seen before, including my mother, because she watched all these freaking Disney movies with me. Like it's fun to experience them again and like get to see those characters and like you hear the music and you're like, oh yeah, like I like this. Like it makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
You like
inside.
The theme park aspect of fucking Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, without the theme park rides.
Yes, he does.
That is a loaded question, but yes,
we'll get to why.
Yeah, but yes, I do like that.
I didn't mean to start something.
Oh, no, that being said,
it's gonna come up. I knew this was.
It's gonna come up right fucking now. You know what I don't like? The fucking theme park rides in the fucking game. So, like, one aspect of what makes this game extremely easy, at least right now for me, is everything has a finisher, right? Everything has a finisher, and on top of that, it's not like you have some vulnerability. No, you're basically invincible. Actually, I think you are invincible, aren't you, Friedman?
Some
like
of them,
all these things.
I think half of them you can take damage during.
Okay, but there are some of these finishers, right? That they literally like. Oh, hey, everybody likes Disney World, right? So we're gonna take the teacups, fucking Splash Mountain, all this shit, and we're gonna make them finishers in Kingdom Hearts 3. Literally Splash Mountain, Tim. Imagine Splash Mountain.
My problem.
I don't even understand.
So I'll explain a little more in depth. So starting with the Dream Drop Distance, they added this system where every 3 attacks you do, it gives you the chance to transform into another mode. And it was all dependent on what you did. So like if you use a bunch of fire magic, you do a fire transformation. And that was cool. People liked it. It made you powerful, but it let you pick what type of power you wanted based on your playstyle. And it was great. And they sort of have that with Keyblades in this game. But one of the things they added was on any group of enemies, there's a chance that one of them will spawn with like a green circle around them. If you attack that enemy, you get an extra action command. And that action summons a Disney Park ride. And these things do a lot of damage. You're invulnerable for a lot of it. There's a fucking cut scene when you get on the ride that you can skip. But like they're really strong. But the problem is they're way too frequent. Like
it's so frequent.
One of my favorite Kingdom Hearts YouTubers, the Gamers Joint, and he was talking about how in Kingdom Hearts 2, when you had a reaction command come up for triangle, they made you do cool shit. But except for like maybe one part of the game where you're supposed to be spamming it, they're not that frequent. It's supposed to be this moment where it's like, wow, look at this cool shit I did. Look at this Keyblade transfer. I'm fucking final form now. You feel OP as fuck for like a good 45 seconds, and then you don't feel it again for 30 minutes because these meters take so long to charge. And they went into the game design and they're like, people love this aspect of just being broken.
Do it all the time.
But they ignored the aspect that part of what makes it so good is that it's not every fight you get to use all this crazy shit. It's only like once every 30 minutes where you get to go like beast mode on these enemies, and the rest of the time you're doing your normal fucking hack and slash Keyblade, press X 4 times, then pray to God you're gonna block this next attack. And they like forgot about that aspect of design, and now it's every other second you get this special action that just pulls you out of combat. 6-second cutscene, you did a bunch of damage for no risk, and it doesn't even feel like a
That's a lot of damage.
So Tyler, you'll understand this reference perfectly. In Doom, the glory kills,
yes,
those had almost the same problem, except in Doom you unlock a rune like halfway through the game that lets them play at twice speed.
Yes.
So it perfectly skirts that issue just as you finally met most of the enemies. You don't want to see the glory kills anymore, and you don't want to be in danger. You just want to run up to the imp, punch through his chest in like one frame, and just keep moving. Bam! You get the rune. You fucking just start cranking through these glory kills, and it's not an issue anymore. And you don't even have to have that on. If you like the glory kills at their 5 seconds instead of 1 second, you just don't put it on. But you have 3 slots, so if it bothers you, put that shit on, and now you just do it, and it's like, boom. It's like the same amount of time as it takes to fucking reload the double-barrel shotgun is how fast it goes.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is. I mean, you can turn off the animations.
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
So you can right off the bat.
Yeah, it's in the menu. I had to show Tyler where it was because it was killing him.
It was, but but the thing is, like Freeman said, it happens so frequently, right? And but you can choose not to activate them.
But that seems less good.
So, but the problem is, if I use them, I don't have as much fun because it means that I get to watch this fucking Disney cinematic do my fights for me, and I don't like that. So I've actually stopped using them completely, and it's making the game a lot more fun. A lot of people are complaining they want to either have them reduce the spawn rate, or one of the things they did at the beginning of the game is, and they've had this for a while, is they have the ability to turn off getting experience in the game, and it's one of those artificial difficulty caps. A lot of people do Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, they call them level 1 runs, where you have 0, you don't have any other levels, you're doing a level 1. And they kind of killed the way level 1 runs work with how they do attack damage now. But point is, they could easily put in a toggle that says, I do or don't want these commands.
So real quick, I don't want to take you guys off Kingdom Hearts 3 if you want to keep talking about it, but we're on news story 4 out of 7, and that's not counting the Weeeb shit and our weeks. And we're already
we don't need a topic 45 minutes. Let's just talk.
That's okay, that's fine. That's fine. We won't do a topic this week. We'll just keep going through. That's fine.
All right, that's perfectly fine.
You were talking about level 1 having a toggle.
Yeah, so it's easy to have a toggle. There's a lot of speculation this was one of those things that Disney had a hard requirement for being in the game, because it was one of the first things they showed off for Kingdom Hearts 2. They showed off the fucking roller coaster versus the Titan fight in the Hercules world, which is like the first mini boss fight.
I'm going to look these up while you guys are talking. I'm going to look up Kingdom Hearts 3 finishers. I want to see what these
called
look like.
Attraction Flow is specifically what you're looking for.
Attraction Flow.
Because
what's called?
Because finishers are actually my positive thing about this game. So real quick, anyone who's played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 knows that after you beat a world, you get a new Keyblade. And usually they have different stats, and very rarely do they have any kind of ability associated with them. So generally, for the most part, you end up equipping the new Keyblade you get and forgetting about your old ones. And it kind of sucks, because the Kingdom Key, the one that Sora holds, is iconic, but you rarely ever use it after the first level. With Kingdom Hearts 3, they decided to combine the drive form system of Kingdom Hearts 2, where you became super OP, with the idea that you can have multiple Keyblades equipped at a time and rotate through them. So each Keyblade will have its own set of stats, but it also has a transformation. So after I finish 3 full combos against enemies, I have the option to transform my Keyblade. And this kind of plays into how the form styles were in 1 and 2, where you had one where suddenly your Keyblades are now ranged weapons, like it was Wisdom form in Kingdom Hearts 2. You have ones where suddenly both your arms have claws on them and you do a lot more diving actions. Some of them are a little annoying because of how they have your character move, and they're kind of all over the place. But I really like the idea of it. It means that equipment you get in the early game is not dead in the late game, and you can really have a more customized style of play. Like I have one Keyblade that's really good at long range with magic, and I always use that for boss fights because I have a lot more fun with that instead of just fucking dying. But when I'm going through non-bosses, I equip a different set because I really like being in their faces mashing X because that's what I enjoy doing. And I really like what they did with that. And because of that, I'm going above and beyond to unlock Keyblades I normally wouldn't. So in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the ultimate weapon is always like it's hard to unlock Keyblade. It has its own transformations. And I am like, okay, fuck, I need to see what that transformation is. Like this part has me wanting to play with all the different Keyblades in the game, and I actually really love this design aspect of it.
So I am now on my third one of these after a minute. It took a minute and 20 seconds to get through 2 of these fucking things.
Oh, did it show them like using it in combat?
So at least it looks like you're active. Like it's not just. I thought it was just watching an animation for like 45 seconds.
It, but it's like.
But like, oh my god, these seem like they take all this lead into this other thing and then do the cool thing. Like, why would you do anything else?
I mean, all the lead in is kind of like that's probably showing the cutscenes that are skippable. The point is,
but even like, oh, here's riding the train and shooting the thing. Like, it's just riding a train and shooting.
So I don't know if the train appears anywhere. I think that was just like a major gameplay segment for that boss fight.
Oh, it's.
So I'm not gonna fault that
like
one.
It is one.
Like
okay, it did the little mermaid one, it did the Wreck-It Ralph one, and then you have to like jump.
Oh no, those ones are summons. Those are different. Those ones are fine being long and drawn out.
Shit. So wait, is the teacup thing a summon?
No, teacup is an attraction.
No, it's an attraction thing.
How is this different? They look like the same thing.
They're different because summons are specific characters, and you have to choose to use all of your magic at once to use a summon. So it's a very deliberate thing that you do. Whereas attraction flow pops up constantly.
Okay, so this teacup thing looks busted.
Yeah, teacup's my favorite one. I actually love that one.
This guy's riding around in Toy Story, I guess, and he's just like spamming teacups all over. Holy fuck. Oh my god, there's just so much animation. And anyway, keep going.
So to move on to the one thing I hate, we already talked about it because it's the fucking attraction flow. It's way too frequent. I'm fine with them showing up occasionally. If they reduce the current spawns to like 1/10 of what they currently are, I think it would be fine. It's one of those really cool, like, fuck yeah, let me get this quick, like, big attack off. But it feels too regular and too busted, and I hate it. But yeah, overall, I'm really having fun with this game, and I want to beat it. Like, that's the thing. Even though we're shitting on this, we're complaining because of how much we love this series.
So that's fair, but at the same time, how does this compare to other Kingdom Hearts?
So I need to replay 2 because it's been a while. Every time I go to play 2, I get stuck on the prologue. I like it better than Dream Drop Distance. I still think I like Birth by Sleep more, but I'm an unusual person and think that. 2 is probably going to be better than this in the long run. I want to replay 2 after I'm done with 3. But I think that just because of how much the series has evolved, I do think it's going to be regarded way better than Kingdom Hearts 1 overall.
Tyler, do you agree with all that?
Probably not. I have weird opinions.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Okay. Like, I think it's all right. I'm not actually having as much as a good time as I really wanted to, honestly.
So, Tyler, do you think it's the worst Kingdom Hearts game?
No. Okay. I don't think it's the
cool.
worst.
No, that's fine.
Over 2 days exists.
Yeah.
No. Obviously, I'm the one here. Like, I'm the Tyler during Magic Talk right now. I've never played any of them, so I'm just trying to get a baseline.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst game.
Is it the worst numbered game? Because Freeman, you're basically saying it's 2, 3, 1, right?
It really depends on how they execute the final half. Because right now, in terms of Disney worlds, I like what they're doing with it better than how it was in Kingdom Hearts 1. A lot of the worlds, like, I didn't like Tarzan. I thought Alice in Wonderland was boring because it was a bunch of square rooms. And, like, that's kind of, how do I put this? Like, it was literally last week I watched Tangled, so I'd be able to play this game, and it felt like you're literally in the movie. Like, I can't really describe this, but they did a really great job of capturing these movies. So in terms of the Disney side of it, I think Kingdom Hearts 3's Disney side is better than Kingdom Hearts 1's Disney side.
Actually, you know what? I'll say, that being said, if we want to talk about that, literally 0 out of 10, because they didn't have fucking, what do you say, there's a snake in my boot. literal garbage tier. I can't, like, unplayable.
Oh my god.
Like, you don't understand how upset I was. Like, They said a line. They said one of his pull string lines, but it's like one of the shittier ones. Like, wasn't even somebody poisoned the water hole. Like, this is bullshit.
I thought it was. Anyway, the only thing that makes up for it in the Toy Story world is right when you get there, the game cuts out and it starts playing this fake trailer for like this knockoff.
Dude,
Final Fantasy
me and
versus
everyone.
13.
Oh my god.
And then it zooms out and it's Rex is watching this commercial for like what's supposed to be a Square Enix game in universe to explain like Sora being a toy of this video game character, and his name is Yozora or something.
Yozora.
And this game is just like, Nomura is so fucking meta about this. The title card drops the prologue and it opens with Kingdom Hearts 2.9 because it's the prologue. And then he gets Subtle World and he shows up a trailer for Versus 13, the game that Square Enix wouldn't let him finish to go do this game. Like, he's just throwing out these references and I fucking love it.
And we got pissed because some people came over to watch me play, and we all got mad because it was so seamless. Like the ad, the transition to the ad. We're like, no, this is fucking horseshit. Because they even put like, oh, coming soon, like the standard and deluxe edition, and we're just like, this is. And we're like, what the fuck? But like low key, like when it was transitioning to Rex, we're like, yo, this is kind of mad good though. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I'd probably buy this.
Like there's a lot of passion in this game and I appreciate it. I acknowledge that they made mistakes, but I want to appreciate the game for what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might change my mind, but so far I'm like super meh. It's not as good as I thought it would be. Honestly, out of both games that came out, fucking Resident Evil 2 has got me feeling some kind of way.
Game looks magical.
Like,
so
more than that. Yo, fucking Daddy Leon over here. So many of those.
We'll get to that in weeks.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But yeah, no, that's
finish talking about Kingdom Hearts. No, it isn't.
No, I put that. So, listeners, I put in a dumb headline to see if Tim would fall for it. I put in
the fuck
Kingdom
you.
Hearts
Come on.
one final chapter epilogue announced. That's in our show.
You
notes.
unironically talked about the 2.9 fucking intro prologue thing that came out, and then you're just gonna throw this out like it's not. Oh, look, Final Fantasy had this like 5 months ago. Of course, I'm gonna believe this headline. Son of a bitch.
Anyway, they're still in talks about what they want to do, if anything, for DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, whether it's going to be additional worlds or they're going to bring back the like costume system they had in 0.2. So Nomura has said there's something in the works, but we're not working on it right now.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Which means they're in the planning stages. They're not actively developing the DLC at the moment, is what he meant to say by that. Dude speaks in tongues, I swear.
So then what are the actual devs doing?
I'm pretty sure they're working on like the next Final Fantasy 14 expansion. Because right now it's Square Enix.
What?
Or no, they're probably working on the 7 remake. Or
oh my god, you think they're shuffled over
they're not,
that?
because the Osaka group did Kingdom Hearts. Nomura's going back to Kyoto to work with their team. Or not Kyoto, sorry, Tokyo to go work on the Final Fantasy. Because they were complaining that they couldn't get any work done when he wasn't in-house. So I don't know what this other team is going to go back to doing, but it's going to be whatever the next project is.
Maybe they can't do supporting Final Fantasy if they have to.
I mean, I hope they start working on Final Fantasy VII Remake Disc 2 because they're splitting the game into 3 parts.
What if they made a fucking phone game of Kingdom Hearts?
They already did.
It's
another one.
Unchained X, and it was fucking terrible.
And that was the prequel to the prequel.
They made this whole movie to explain what the mobile game was about without explaining what the mobile game was about. And it made it even more confusing. It added this fucking box to the plot line that everyone's fucking looking for in Kingdom Hearts.
Everybody's looking for this fucking box. What I don't understand, what I don't fucking
this is
get.
So stupid.
It's so dumb. Because it's like, you thought like making a Game Boy Advance game to like as like a sequel to this shit? Oh no, we're gonna make a fucking phone game that's a prequel to the prequel.
The worst part is the mobile game is the sequel to a port of an old PC browser game that was Japanese exclusive. So we're like super deep down the black hole at this point of why this matters.
This is why the AVGN did the chronologically confused about Kingdom Hearts to celebrate this game coming.
Look, the problem is the game makes sense if and only if you play every single game to completion in the order that it came out. If you do it that way, there's zero confusion. The problem is I don't want to play a Game Boy Advance card game. Dream Drop Distance blows, and I'm not paying to play this mobile game. There you go.
Dream Drop Distance was cool. I was like, you know what? This could be a lot better. And I'm like, you know what? If they can just cut back on a few things, and instead, they decide to fucking exacerbate everything in like Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm like, this is not what I wanted.
Not everything.
This is the opposite.
Like they nerfed the flow motion system. They got rid of the fucking Neopets Pokemon partners. Like that was something I forgot about. It's been so long since you've had real partners in these games that I forgot that Donald and Goofy do actual damage to enemies.
Yeah, it's like
they're actually legitimately good.
You sat there and shit talked them, and then you're like, okay, maybe I miss you guys just a little.
Yo, I miss them so hard. My Pokemon was so useless in Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, man.
Wow, this fucking pug dog that just vomits everywhere. Doesn't do
fucking
anything.
pug dog and like farts and shit.
When they brought him back to the summon, I
deflates.
was so mad. I'm like, no, I never want to see you again.
Yeah, but like they made him seem like, oh, but he's like Sora's best friend. I'm like, no,
Not.
he was not my
Yeah,
best
okay.
friend.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of Kingdom Hearts. We'll give our final verdict once both Tyler and I are done.
All
with
right,
this game.
check back in 20 weeks when these guys have finally finished Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, like maybe a week or two.
Tyler sounds like he's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, that's like 2 weeks for Tyler, one for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll finish it, Tyler, or are you just going to play Resident Evil 2 5 more
In
times?
2 weeks,
I would probably see you
no.
doing that.
I hard stopped Resident Evil 2 so I could play this.
What?
What?
Resident Evil 2 is supposed to be so good.
It's really fucking good, Tim. It's really good.
Well, then why did you
It
do
exceeded
that?
my expectations because I need to know what happens.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, fuck off.
I need closure.
So, this isn't a story. Apparently, Xbox Live is coming to the Switch, which is like literally the best melding any Switch owner could hope for. Because now they're online.
What?
Now they're online can stop sucking so much dick.
Damn.
And they can just steal Microsoft's amazing infrastructure.
Oh, it's not
okay.
just Switch. It's
next
also
up.
iOS and Android. All right, that's better.
Good.
I thought
yes.
it was just Switch, and that sounded like the most.
Oh, I only knew it was Switch.
That sounded ridiculous.
I didn't know about the phones thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not surprised though that I guess they're doing this because.
Dude, you know what's hilarious?
What?
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but did you guys hear about this Super Bowl ad where Microsoft showed off its adaptive controller thing?
Oh, I know the controller you're talking about. I didn't see the commercial, even though I did.
This
watch
is
Super
the
Bowl.
thing. I think I saw the commercial before the Super Bowl, but if it was different, I didn't see it. But this, like, it's so funny. Ever since Microsoft stopped being the Call of Duty company, they became the best company for anything that isn't an actual video game but is related to gaming.
The second they stopped being all in on the Kinect, they started being a legitimately great company.
You know what?
So
this is so fucked. Let's just stop.
do whatever the
being
fuck we
fuckos.
want. Dude, this adaptive controller thing. So they put out this controller, and the whole I saw a trailer or a thing about it before the Super Bowl, and they maybe just re-released it
when they had announced it.
It was. It's all the video is a bunch of kids who have like I don't
different
have a left
disabilities.
arm, or my arm's amputated at the elbow, or I have like I
like cerebral palsy or any other
cerebral palsy or something, or I'm in and they just can't game with a normal controller. And Microsoft designed this controller that's like a rectangle that's like a foot long and like 3 inches wide, and it has big pads and big buttons, and it's like configurable to what everything, like you can completely customize how it works.
Even better is they have all of these USB ports in the back, so if you need separate peripherals, like
plug anything into
like
this
foot
fucking
pedals
thing,
or any kind of pad, so you can like use your shoulder, it supports everything, and this is insane.
It's literally like the most magical controller ever.
Magical.
And the internet, like Freeman said, went crazy over this because this is not a video game. This is something that lets kids, especially who couldn't play games before with a controller, play games. And everyone got all teary-eyed over this video because it's a kid in a wheelchair. It's a kid who has like a nub instead of an elbow. And they're like, I can game with my friends, and I've never felt more free before. And it's like, boom, there's the waterworks.
Yeah, that's
like
instead, you could whack off with one hand
oh my God.
while browsing.
Well, no. You're killing the sentimentality of this news story. The thing that's great about this is that 99% of gamers don't need this. This is made for a small subset of gamers.
This is so niche, it's crazy.
Who up until now have been kind of left out, and it's amazing to see that these big guys are coming in and saying, "Hey, we're gonna make
No,
something for you for the
it's not big guys.
Well, no, Microsoft.
It's just but that's. I'm not trying to take away from what you're saying from me. You're right. It is crazy that a big company is doing this, but legitimately, Microsoft seems to be the company who's just like, you know what? If we're gonna try to now. Hopefully, they make some games eventually. But Microsoft has not put out nearly as many exclusives as Sony does. They've been much better about like Xbox and PC, if nothing else, and maybe just blocking Sony's on consoles. But PC gamers still get it. Like, it just feels like Microsoft is much more of a company you can support in what the company is doing. Like Sony, it's harder to support Sony because Sony's first parties make good games, but Sony as a company is just constantly only paying for exclusives for their own console to push their own console. It feels like Microsoft it feels like Microsoft is pushing gaming forward. Sony's pushing Sony. It feels like Microsoft is pushing gaming forward as a whole, and it's really cool. Like, I wish I had more incentive to turn on my Xbox to help Microsoft because I'm just on PC all day, but I use their controller as my controller. The Elite is still my go-to. I don't know, but we're not even talking about Xbox, but like putting Xbox Live on all this other stuff so that you can talk to your friends easier. Like I don't know, Freeman, you obviously read about this. Is this like full services? Like, what does this entail?
What, you're talking about just the controller? You're talking about the...
No, live. I'm going back to live.
No, I didn't even hear about it before I got this. I don't
know sorry, Tyler. Is that yours? Okay.
Yeah, I posted it.
Sorry.
But that's fine. That's fine.
To talk about it then.
No, I'm just kidding. So I didn't actually see too much about it. But no,
controller or live?
No, so they're talking about. Well, so they were talking about it, right? And that's what I was trying to look for. I was like, well, what's the deal? Like, are they gonna post games or stuff like that on it?
It's like an SDK or something.
They said there's no further details. They'll be talking about it at GDC.
Yeah,
perfect. What a good place for it.
Yeah,
a little over a month from now.
Yeah, but I guess what I didn't know was that apparently Minecraft is cross-platform already.
Yes.
With the Switch, so I guess that was like
the first.
Dude,
how many memes? How many memes were there when Fortnite was like when Sony was like fuck Fortnite? How many memes were there of Microsoft and Nintendo like shaking hands?
A ton.
And like
Twitter was all over it.
But I honestly, I wonder if this started then. Like, do you like? It feels like Microsoft and Nintendo more and more aren't really competing. So maybe this is like the first step in them kind of, holding hands for a second.
I think this is the first
touching.
I think this is the first step in Microsoft not pulling out of the fucking
direct console race.
Yeah, I think this is the first step.
So I know everyone talked about
the second step. The first step was them transferring all of their exclusives to PC as well as Xbox One.
Software, not a hardware company.
Yeah.
Man, you know what would get me to fucking play a new Halo game finally? This fucking Infinite. If it's fucking on PC, I'll finally play a Halo game again.
I'm sure
Switch.
It is going to be on PC. I think they announced that
Tyler,
it is.
They announced that it is, but until there's like a box that says PC on it,
I'm boycotting.
I'm not gonna believe it.
I'm boycotting Halo out of like, not just like, oh, no one should play it, but I'm just like, I'm tired of it.
Tyler, I'm kidding. I probably am never gonna play a new Halo game ever again. That's much more honest. Like, the most Halo I'll play is if you and me finally go to Halo 2, or if I put ODST, or if I finally set up my Xbox to play some fucking Halo Master Chief Collection. Great, I'll do that, but I'm probably not gonna play. Maybe for like $5 when it's on sale, Then I'll buy a new Halo game on PC just to say I've played a Halo game in the last 10 years that was new.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, wow, we're getting away from it again.
That's
Xbox
fine.
Live cross-platform is great for gaming, and I'm really excited to see what that could mean. Because I think Microsoft could be an amazing gaming support company. I could honestly see them maybe maybe they just stick around as a console just to have a device in the house, but they kind of de-emphasize.
Like,
I don't know.
what? I don't know how you would go with that.
It feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like they've settled into their role as second place, and instead of trying to get this war started with Sony again, it feels like they're trying to do what Nintendo did and kind of sidestep it a little. Find their own niche to not even fully fit into, but to have their own little bubble that they kind of touch that no one else does. And I think that that's part of this whole, touching with Nintendo and the phones, is to kind of send out feelers to kind of not entrap Sony, but kind of just take the lower level and take like a wider berth than Sony, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Microsoft recognizes that a one-on-one war is stupid, that they've never really won, even though everyone says the 360 won. They never really won. So they're like, let's stop fighting a stupid war and try to find our own thing. Yes.
That's where it's at.
Stop trying to sell Xbox consoles and sell people on the idea that Microsoft is good and you want your services to be touching Microsoft services.
Yeah, the penises be touching and shit.
Like, Freeman, isn't Microsoft Azure like one of the biggest thing in...
Yeah, it's one of the biggest cloud hosting systems. So, like, look, ever since, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, the current CEO of Microsoft took over, they have done a whole 180. They're a completely different company. This whole big pushing out the software, just getting it in the hands of the people, let them get hooked on our ecosystem, just make it accessible. That's been working. Everything's open source. It's honestly, this is like the revolution for Microsoft systems. It's so easy to get in and just start using their shit. And it's easy to get out if you want to, but that's where they get you. You don't want to leave because it's so easy.
Dude, so it's kind of funny. I was listening to one of my podcasts today, and they were bitching about Windows because of updates changing settings. And you know what? I get it that's annoying. But, dude, Windows 10 is fucking solid. I don't know. Everyone bitches about it, and I'm like, this is good. This is great.
Yeah, I don't know. From someone who supports Windows 10, I kind of get upset with users, actually, because I go there, I install Windows 10. No, this is fucking real, because everybody's
I'm sure it is. That's why it's funny.
Oh, fucking Windows 7 is so much better than 10. And I look at them dead in their eye. I'm like, yo, tell me what is so much better? It's just better. I'm like, oh, the start button's in the same place, right? Yeah.
What do you notice that's actually fucking different? Okay,
they have nothing. The only thing they complain about, they're like, fine, it just looks different, and I just really don't like it. And I'm like, that's what I fucking thought.
That's
you're just a piece of shit.
Honest.
Half the time, I can't even get them to say that though. Like, it's like pulling teeth.
I loved 7. 10 seems to be at the point where it can take over from 7. Like, sure, 10 early on was a little less stable, blah 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 blah, but 10 feels like it is now the mature, the good operating system it needs to be.
Only problem that I don't like is you can't get into safe mode with Windows 10.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Huh?
I can totally get into safe mode.
When? How?
What do you mean when?
Don't you do it?
I've been trying. No.
What?
I've never got to safe mode.
Load from the BIOS first. Doesn't it give you the option?
Yeah.
And then hold down F10.
Maybe I'm just being dumb.
I thought it does.
Safe mode.
I feel like I don't know if I've booted into it, but I feel like I've seen the option.
I've never booted or have seen the option for safe mode.
You know why? Maybe you haven't, because it boots so goddamn quick.
Yeah, for real. Maybe. That's the thing is there's no window for it anymore.
I spam everything.
I don't know. No OS is perfect, but I just feel like this is so good. Like the podcast, they were like, "Oh, talk about maybe it's time to finally try Linux." I'm like, "No, you fucking wouldn't."
Why would you?
Why?
All right. Well, speaking of things that are not perfect, let's move on.
Sure. Life is Strange. The other game. The Tyler disappointment for you, Freeman, is Life is Strange.
All right. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go through this really fast. So, keeping with the theme of anti-consumer practices, Life is Strange 2 Episode 2 comes out, and unlike Season 1, they revealed that there is no option to individually purchase episodes past the first one. So Episode 1 was same with Season 1. Episode 1 is free, and then they want you to pay for each subsequent episode. With Life is Strange Season 2, all you can do is buy the episodes 2 through 5 pack, which kills the whole idea of paying as you go to fund the next chapter. Now it's kind of give us our money up front, we'll slowly trickle out a game, which is no different than someone charging you for a full price game and then saying, well, it's not really going to be out for another year or so.
Or they don't want people to buy it and forget that they have other episodes past the first one, so we need more money right now.
People start complaining on Steam, which causes the Square Enix rep to say, like, no, this is the business model that we thought was best. Based on what other companies
Of course it was.
did.
That's why.
Yeah. So a lot of people are really annoyed. I'm not going to talk about it because I pre-ordered the whole thing right when it came out. I want to support Don't Not as a company. But with Chapter 2, it's starting to show some problems. I'm not going to beat around the bush. This chapter wasn't very compelling. A lot of the emotional moments were kind of forced. They did a really good job at making your decisions actually matter this chapter, which is a first for the series. I'm even going to say that, like, a lot of things happen differently if you choose different things. So a character may or may not die this chapter. But the thing that got me hooked on Life is Strange 2, or sorry, Life is Strange 1, was the characters were very relatable. The setting was very relatable. All the character dynamics were great. With Life is Strange 2, it's a story about these two kids who are on the run after there was an incident with one of the kids getting powers and a cop was killed. So there's a lot of social commentary about cops versus Hispanic kids. But the main issue is you're on the run. Any character you meet, you don't really hang out with them for more than a couple minutes. There's no interpersonal reactions. I don't personally, like, despite the fact that I have a younger brother and I was a piece of shit to him, I don't relate to the main character who's an older brother who's a piece of shit. I related way closer to these awkward lesbian high school students than I do to these kids. Like, it's really weird to say.
But sometimes it happens, dude. Sometimes you just relate to the lesbians.
Like, between the atmosphere, between the music, it's just like this game isn't capturing me the same way Life is Strange 1 did, and I'm really upset. I'm hoping they turned around. Life is Strange 2 Episode 2 was delayed pretty heavily, and they also did not drop a a trailer. Or no, they did it like a 10-second teaser. Point is, they haven't really confirmed when the next one's happening, and there's concerns about delays. So Life is Strange 2 is pretty rocky so far.
So is that a shared sentiment, or do you think that's more you?
No, this is a
Have
shared
you looked
sentiment.
into it at all?
I've looked into a lot of discussions. A lot of people feel the same way, that a lot of the emotional moments were kind of cheap in the way they did it. People did appreciate the way they had the choices, but if you go to the Life is Strange subreddit, it's almost all fan art from season 1. People really resonate with those characters, and that's why Life is Strange 1 was so good. And I'm just not resonating with the cast of 2 at all.
You know what I did emotionally resonate with? That fucking show we're going to talk about in my week preview.
Oh, Lord.
Spoilers!
All right.
Spoilers!
Do you want to even talk about this last one before we go into the Weeeb shit?
Can we not?
All right,
what? No, it's all right. Fine, that's fine. No, we don't have to.
Tyler, do you want to?
Do you want to give Fortnite more attention here?
Hey, man.
Tyler, just do it. We're already in it. Just do it. Just do it. We've already.
I just want to know.
Shit.
I just want to know what the deal is, man. Like, my old person brain can't handle this Marshmallow concert that occurred in Fortnite.
So I will explain. Fortnite gets off on the idea of having events that are happening in game. So I remember there was a couple years ago at this point where there was rumors that this meteor was going to fall out of the sky and destroy part of the map. And there were all these like signs that kept dropping in map updates, and then it finally happened. You were in game and there was this fucking meteor shower in the middle of your game. And it was cool. It was one of those you had to be there moments. Early on, when Guild Wars 2 came out, they had these weekends where events would happen. They'd only happen once, and they got rid of that because no one was there for it. But one of the things that Fortnite takes advantage of is that there's a lot of people on. If you put an event on, it's one of those I was there when it happened kind of moments. And they partnered with Marshmello, and he did essentially a live concert mix in game. So during that section of the game, all weapons were turned off, and this rave happened in the middle of the map. It was one of those you had to be there kind of moments, and they ended up replaying it for the next hour or so during games, so you can still experience it. It was one of those, let's promote this, everyone get on, everyone play at the same time, just be part of the moment, and that's why they did it.
Yeah.
As for whether I would have enjoyed it, not really. I don't like Marshmello that much.
I mean, I wouldn't have enjoyed it either.
I mean, do you remember the concept of PlayStation Home?
Dude, yeah. That was weird. Have you tried PlayStation Home when it was out?
Yes, I did. That's literally what they're doing. They had one part where you could, in PlayStation Home, go to this hub where you could watch the live stream of E3 with other people's avatars. And that's kind of what this is trying to be. It's you with other people in a digital world experiencing something. Except it's weird.
Well, I guess I wanted it to be a slightly deeper topic, only because it's Yo, man, is this the future?
Yes.
Are digital
Hanging out in
things?
video games? Yes.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's VR.
I don't like that. I
I
really,
think
you know-
this is a very niche thing. I don't think this is the future. This is one of those like
No way it is.
you don't think it's niche, or you don't think it's the
Freaking
future?
millions of people, quote unquote, showed up for this thing.
Yeah, but it's also free. No one made any money off of this.
Yeah, and then when does everyone in 10 years when every kid has a VR headset in their house? Even if they don't, it doesn't matter. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Because why, Freeman? Why go to a real concert when you just do this?
Oh no, VR concerts are going to be a thing. I'm talking about concerts
No,
inside
I'm
of
saying
fucking
even
video
this.
games.
Yeah, sure.
So just to bring it
People,
all the way back
look,
to Kingdom Hearts
just
3.
because look,
It-
MMOs are not nearly as big right now.
Yeah, they're kind
But
of on out.
so people still want the social game. People still want to feel like they're part of a community. That's why Discord is so big. It's why all this shit is so successful. And it's why people would happily go. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Any game could do this. League could do this. Dota could do this. WoW could do this. Like, any video game could just throw one of these and like everybody would show up because it's a chance for shut-in nerds on their computers or kids to feel like they're part of a big group.
yeah, that is
The only
true.
reason this is big news is because it's a real musical artist.
Yeah, and that's what made it happen. It was a big musical artist, like just like the whole Drake thing playing with Ninja, right? Like that was a big deal.
Yeah. I never
Like-
even heard the name Ninja until that story, and now it's like Ninja's everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know he was big on
Yeah, he was
Twitch,
already huge.
but it didn't matter real life until that happened, and then you get a news headline, and it's like, oh, blah, 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 whatever.
yeah. I don't know. As far as this whole thing is concerned, it's a little strange, but I get the appeal.
Like I said, social.
It is a social thing, especially for the little children.
If we wanted to get really deep, it probably plays in a lot to like the whole e-culture thing with phones and everything now.
what,
like,
just about always
this is-
being connected?
Yeah, basically, this is like the step between hanging out in real life and Instagram reality. This is the bridge right here, is the in-video game thing where that guy's a real person and he showed up for this, but he's in his own house and I can disconnect still. But you're moving and feeling like you're actually doing something, whereas Instagram is just, or like whatever they use, like fucking Pinterest. I don't fucking care. But
Pinterest.
that's just fake-er, you know what I mean? It's the bridge.
Man, fuck this. I'm just
Fuck
getting old.
Fortnite. Yeah,
We're
fuck
getting
Fortnite.
old. That's what it really is. We're just getting
Dude,
old.
it's
We're
every
salty.
day it feels like there's another thing where I understand my parents more and chuckle at the thought that future generations are gonna go through this exact process.
Man,
Oh,
fuck this
yeah.
Battle Royale. I just want Kingdom Hearts 4. Come on, why can't we?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Well, no, fuck it. I'll save it for weeks. I should have said this
Oh,
already
okay.
for Kingdom Hearts.
No, if it's Kingdom Hearts, backtrack, because we don't need to talk about more Kingdom Hearts other than you guys played it and are gonna be playing
I
it.
won't.
what'd you
I
wanna
won't
say?
lie. I did forget to mention this. If I'm overall not satisfied with this game, Freeman, I'm probably not gonna play another one.
That's perfectly justifiable. This series is absolute trash, and I fucking love it.
Like,
but I accept that this game isn't. This like series isn't really that good. It's been living on this weird ass promotional hype and storyline.
You know what it's been living on?
Yeah.
for forever. It's not actually that great, but I love it for what it is.
It is living on the nostalgic weird thing that survived energy. Like there is nothing like Kingdom Hearts out there.
yeah,
That's why it's big. It's still like, what else has this weird crossover, this convoluted timeline, this gameplay that most people can at least enjoy? Like, there is nothing like this in the world.
So I really hate to say this, but I was driving out to get lunch today, and Bring Me to Life starts playing on the radio.
We're going
Oh,
back
God.
to
No, no,
Kingdom Hearts again.
and for some reason I associate that so hard with these like Final Fantasy X music videos I saw when I was a kid. But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, how come music like this doesn't happen anymore? I'm like, no, this is definitely like a product of its era. And I realized like Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts 2, those are all kind of lumped into the same era where it just things aren't like that anymore, and everyone loved when it was that way. But like, you're looking at Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's really not that far off from the way the series was. But we as people have changed, and the series is trying not to. And I'm seeing this kind of divide because of that.
All right, let's finally cross the.
Yeah,
let's stay
get the
in.
fuck out of all this video game bullshit, and let's get.
Well, I was gonna say let's stay in Japan.
Weeb shit.
Holy shit, we're at an hour 20. We haven't even done weeb shit yet.
Don't worry, it's except for the last topic, all of it's really short. So for anyone who's watching Mob Psycho 100, episode 5 came out on Monday. I haven't watched it yet, but the significance of this episode is that they showed off who the animation directors were for it, and one of them, I never say his name on the podcast. I always refer to him as that guy. His name is Hakugo. He works with Studio Bones. He's done cuts for One Punch Man, Hero Academia, Mob Psycho, any of the crazy fight scenes in those shows.
Oh yeah, he's the guy who did like
does those cuts.
like the yeah.
He
like
did the Bakugo Leap. He did the Midoriya versus Bakugo fight in season 3. He did All Might versus No Moon season 1. The dude is an absolute legend. And he did the Mob 100% fight in episode 5, which I saw a split second of it, and it looks fucking beautiful. But this comes with a little bit of bad news. This is going to be his last cut submitted to the studio for a little while. He is based out of Taiwan, where they do have mandatory military service. So he is going to serve in the military for a bit. When he comes back, he's obviously going to be an animator for a while, but it means that we won't have his talents around for possibly One Punch Season 2 and possibly Hero Academia 4. 4? Yeah, we're in Season 4. So it's sad to hear. He's a very talented animator. I know they're going to make do without him, but I can't wait to see what he works on when he gets back. Moving on. Well, there's a lot of Western news this week outside of that. So Crunchyroll announced they're doing another Twitch Watches Crunchyroll partnership thing. They announced some of the shows in there. They're doing all of Golden Kamui. They're doing Laid Back Camp. They have Zombieland Saga in there, which Luigi's really happy about. I'm just kind of iffy about Saga, but I'm really excited to watch Laid Back Camp with Twitch chat popping off. Like, honestly...
Oh, dude, they're going to be... Dude, the amount of people in that Twitch chat who are going to be literally, like, drinking cocoa, eating cup noodles at the same fucking time, it's going to produce some weird energy.
They have to be drinking cup or eating cup noodles.
I fucking love watching anime with Twitch. Like, I thought it was only going to be good for, like, action shows. Because I remember when it first happened... I don't remember what show. It was like 12 episodes. It was really actiony. And then the next one they go into is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. And I'm sitting here like, oh, God. Chat's gonna hate this. They were eating this shit up. Any moment where like anyone showed any kind of affection towards another character, they were just pog champs all through the chat. Everyone just flipping out. It was an exhilarating experience, to say the least, and I can't wait to watch with all these other degenerates. Who wants to talk about Broly?
I added this just
Broly.
now. So do we want to talk about where this came from yesterday, Freeman?
Yes. So I'm on the anime.
Tell us where you found this amazing source.
I'm on the anime meme subreddit, and there's a new format going around where it's the shot from Spider-Man 2 after he stops the train, where everyone's like, kind of like, he's essentially
carrying him on his shoulders
over these people that are pushing one, and someone says, "Careful, he's a hero." And you just put it under dumb shit people are doing, and someone posts this screenshot, and it's an image of a video on Pornhub, except the shot is like Broly's dad, and the caption says Dragon Ball Super Broly movie full dub HD.
Yep.
Followed by Careful, he's a hero. So Tyler, I send this picture to the group chat, and Tyler's like, if this is real, I'm gonna fucking die or something. And I go to Pornhub and I check, and I'm like, holy shit, it's here in 720p. Start downloading it.
So,
yeah.
So Freeman sends us this link, and no joke, less than an hour later, I was watching the movie on the site because I didn't have an account. I didn't have an account to download.
Oh no, I used an illegal downloader.
You know damn well I'm going there to fucking watch Broly.
Is
Best
it even
comment
still
though.
on there?
I don't know if it is.
The comments
If it's not, I have it downloaded.
I do too.
The comment is it was great.
Oh,
Great.
I
Something finally to jerk off to.
The comments in this video were hilarious. I just sent you guys the best ones.
Those were the best ones.
Yeah, but I need to watch it. I gotta find some time for it, because that movie's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. So Tyler saw this in theaters a while ago. I'm sure it was prettier and smoother, but I watched this yesterday. This movie is literally made out of money. Like,
yeah, dude.
Holy
It's quality. It's pretty fucking quality.
The quality is like, not to relate it to the website it was on, but was dripping out of the fucking
Jesus.
There is the amount of fucking quality here. The animation is gorgeous. Even the CGI. There was like one shot during the double shot, Tyler, when they go back to back, where it's a little too much. It's a little too blocky and still, but the rest of the time it's moving so fast you almost can't even tell it's CGI because you have to notice.
That's when it's
even
good
then
CGI.
Exactly, they hide it behind actual movement and explosions and shit. But dude, Broly's number is real fucking big in this movie.
Yeah, dude. Yo, he's fucking disgusting.
Dude, oh my god. This
disgusting
movie
in a good way, I mean. Disgusting
is like, this movie is half a fight. Not like half a fight that happens. Half of this movie is one fight.
It's a good Dragon Ball movie.
It's
got everything. Good. It's got side characters. It's got Dragon Ball hunting. It's got and you know what?
You see the Dragon Balls. They actually show up.
Yeah. So one of my biggest things was actually is the story. I think the story, like the writing was good.
Yes, and it was really cool.
And instead of like being Broly, like just being there, like they personified him. Like they gave Broly is an actual person.
Freeman, you know how Broly has that like barbarian look with that fur and shit going on?
Yeah.
They actually explain why he's wearing fur.
Good.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason.
That's very wholesome. Spoiler.
Like, Paragus has armor. His name is Paragus, right?
His dad.
His dad.
Yeah, dad's Paragus. Yeah. There's a reason in the shots when he shows up with Frieza Force where the dad has armor and Broly has armor with the fur still on. It's great. And it's, oh my god.
You know, it's pretty good. You should go watch it.
Oh, I plan on it. I just need to find some time.
So everyone else does their usual yelling. The Broly guy, whoever did the voice acting for Broly does a lot of fucking screaming in this movie. He goes pretty fucking nuts, and it's badass. This is some seriously gorgeous animation. Like when they're flying around and doing their instant cuts back to each other to punch. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to describe it that much because it's just so.
So you gotta let our boys see it first.
Yeah,
Freeman, you should watch it by next week and we can really talk about it. Like I'd watch it again. Is how much fun it was to watch. Or I'd at least watch the fight half again. I probably wouldn't need the story shit, but even seeing like Bardock and stuff show up and like,
oh my God,
like it's actually cool
Bardock
to see all that. Well, I mean. It retcons this backstory yet again, but I think since this is actually canon, it's finally canon what happens with Bardock and Goku and everything.
I think the Bardock stuff is regarded as canon, but Broly never was. So I don't know if this is...
I thought the Bardock stuff was... Like, he time travels because Frieza shot him. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that shit. I don't know if that part's canon. That was some weird-ass spin-off.
I'm pretty sure this new stuff in the movie contradicts everything else. Or at least doesn't really work with everything else.
It retcons. It retcons a lot of things.
That's
and
what I thought. It retcons them.
Yeah, it retcons Broly because technically the other movie wasn't canon. Yeah. But now they're making literally everything in this movie canon. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. This Super is canon.
Like and
that's what they've been doing in the movies.
Lately. Yeah, that's the thing too with so like there was Broly. They added Broly and they added I don't know if I want to keep continuing because I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, you mean the other two?
Yeah, there's a couple other things that they add in this movie that they that are now officially a part of the Dragon Ball universe. Like,
wait, now I'm confused. Message me what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean.
That's fine.
All right, moving on. Something we did all watch is.
Oh yeah, we also watched. Yeah,
on the podcast is now officially watching Rise of the Shield Hero, so we're going to talk about it week to week.
Since last time, me and Val watched it, although she might not continue with it, but I sure as fuck will.
Is it that she doesn't like it, or that it just makes her too angry?
Probably both.
Damn, she doesn't like it.
But I don't know. You have to ask her.
All right.
But dude, speaking of angry.
The show gets me so salty. I love it.
Vision goes red when you're watching this fucking show.
Dude, for real though. For real.
when the top comment on the Reddit post about the episode is this cunt can't wait for this cunt to fucking die.
God
you know,
damn! Jesus Christ! Holy shit, dude!
Oh right, Tyler, you're not in the Weeeb chat. Yeah, that was the fucking top comment on the subreddit for that week.
God damn.
It's so good.
I mean, the sentiment is real though. Like I'm with whoever posted that. It's fucked up.
There's a whole subreddit dedicated to hating that one character.
There literally is a whole subreddit about what is it called?
What's her name? Mine, M-Y-N-E or something?
Yeah, or it's like Mine.
Whatever. She's a bitch. I don't care how you pronounce her name. But the top, or should I say bottom post for a while was some guy saying everyone here needs to downvote this post, and he just posted a picture of her. And on the anime subreddit, someone posted a picture of that post with the "careful, he's a hero" meme attached to it. We got like negative $1 million karma from that.
Oh my god, dude, this show is Curse series unlocked. I can't get over how good that was.
Yeah, I've said this one. I'll say it again. Like, I haven't been so like excited waiting week to week for a show. Like, this is.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah,
even more than Slime, honestly. Like, Slime's still really good, but I'm fucking pumped to watch Shield Hero.
Yeah,
and get pissed off. I'm ready to get angry again.
All right, I'm gonna rapid fire the next couple, and then we'll get to the last one. So first things first.
Oh, I got you, Tyler.
Crunchyroll announced they're acquiring a bunch of different shows mid-season, which is pretty unusual because a lot of these seem like they were exclusive to High Dive, but High Dive now partnered with Verve, so now there's this weird-ass sharing thing going on.
Oh, not again.
But they got this one show I was interested when I saw the original plot synopsis. I'm going to describe it to you guys because I want candid opinion on this. The show is called Domestic Girlfriend, and the plot synopsis was the main character goes to high school and he's absolutely in love with his teacher, but he knows nothing can happen. He just needs to forget about it. So he decides to just go to this like kind of like a mixer event to just try and meet another girl, and he meets this girl from his high school, and the two of them are just like fuck it, whatever, and they hook up, like sex, not common for manga. So I'm just gonna straight outright say it. So they hook up, and he's just like, damn, I'm still not over my teacher. So
well, they fucking.
So he doesn't really. I don't think he like talks to this girl that much, but she's like very clearly into him. He comes home one day and his dad announces that he's getting remarried. And who's he getting remarried to? But his fucking teacher. And the teacher, who's now his stepmom, said, oh, by the way, my daughter is going to come live with us. And who is that daughter? But the girl he was fucking with. So now, of course. So this sounds like some like daytime drama shit. I'm actually curious about this. So I might give it a shot, but it sounds like
Jesus
trash.
Christ.
But then
this is
again,
some straight up daytime fucking soap shit. Like,
then again, our community's motto is anime is trash and so am I. So
true.
That's the way it is.
Your anime is trash and your wife who ain't even that cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that part of me or just the general community?
Just the general community.
Oh, thank God. I thought that was a person.
Yeah, nah. You always got the quality waifus, my dude.
Anyway, moving on. Attack on Titan Season 3.5, or the second half of Season 3, which is coming out 2 months from now, end of March, beginning of April. They confirmed that the band Linked Horizon, who did the first, second, third openings, and then the ending to last season, is coming back for the opening, which everyone's excited about because it means they're probably going to do a really hype action song, because all of the ones they've done, in that tone have been fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, wasn't the last one the weird one for the show?
So the last one they had Yoshiki from X Japan and the singer from Larkin-Ciel do a collaboration, and it wasn't bad, but it was very distinctly different from the rest of the openings in tone, and it was done because that arc is distinctly different from the rest of the arcs. With this next one, we're getting back into Titan battles, so I think it was a very intentional point to show that, like, this season has nothing to do with Titans. It's all about just like internal strife amongst humans and like politics and shit, which was good. But now we're getting back to the real shit, so they got to get the real band back in for the opening. Moving on, I talked about this just like a year and a half ago. When Funimation released the Blu-rays for one of my favorite shows, Re:Zero, everyone noticed terrible coloring and artifacting on the Blu-rays. And they were asking Funimation, what's the deal? Are you going to reissue the disc? Like, is it actually shitty? And Funimation's like, well, we kind of can't because there's nothing wrong with these discs. We printed the master copy that the Japanese company gave us, and that was the master. So people start
what?
So the whole idea that everyone thought was happening was the release of RE0 was close in the US to when it was in Japan. And in Japan, Blu-rays sell with 3 episodes on them for $80 US. In the US, that shit doesn't fly. So they sold the 13 episode box set for like, I think it was like $50, which is like standard pricing now for 13 episodes. They didn't want reverse importing, so it sounds like they intentionally gave us the shitty release. And Funimation couldn't really make a comment on this because they couldn't get better masters, and the Japanese company kept insisting this is the one that we are obligated to give you.
Are giving you.
Yeah, so it was kind of like Funimation had their hands tied. They couldn't do anything. And they finally came out and said, since the second half of the show is coming out on Blu-ray, they're like, look, we now have the correct masters. We will reissue discs if you mail them in. So they're doing that.
Oh shit!
Which
Nice.
is great. But it also means that I'm cautious about buying any copies because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to get. On top of that, they're claiming that these issues aren't going to be present in the Blu-rays for the second half. But people who are reviewing the trailers like, hey, the color issues are still in the trailer. So what's the deal? So now everyone's really skeptical about this whole thing. So Funimation's kind of taking a lot of heat from this, even though this is 100% the producers giving them shitty master copies, which sucks. Also in Funimation news, the founder, Gen Fukunaga, is stepping down as the general manager of Funimation. This probably has a lot to do with the Sony merger. It's not coming as a surprise to anyone. It was a question of how long he was going to stay on. It's a shame to see him go because he's the man who made the company what it is. He's the one who brought Dragon Ball to the US when he did and kind of like defined our Toonami childhood.
That's going fucking back.
So I'm set to see him go, but it is what it is. Now,
oh boy,
on to the last topic.
Go.
This is the real topic. Why we don't have a topic?
So I was trying real hard to shut my mouth because Tim, when you were talking about Broly, you mentioned how great the screams that Broly's actor did were. Broly's voiced by this guy named...
It's more like a roar, but yeah.
He's voiced by this guy named Vic Mignogna, who's... I'll say he's a prolific member of the anime dubbing community. For anyone who watched Fullmetal Alchemist, he's Ed Elric.
That's right. That's why I recognize.
Pretty iconic voice. I've been a huge fan of him for forever. But this hasn't really been too much of a secret. But even like in 2008, there were rumblings of this. But that Vic was a little inappropriate with fans, meaning that at conventions he was a little too touchy and feely.
No.
Always rumors flying around about whether he goes too far or not, or whether he's just like the kind of guy who wants to hug everyone. And these rumors have been circulating since as early as 2003 when Fullmetal Alchemist came out. No one ever.
So it's been a hot minute.
It's been a while that these have been circulating. So no one's really taken them seriously because they've just been kind of rumblings. Everyone always just says, "I heard from other people that heard from people," and now we're in, how do I put it? We're in the age of real call-outs. So 2 weeks ago, one of the editors from Anime News Network published a very serious article about accusations against Vic Mignogna. And at first I was like, oh man, this is just the same shit all over again. Because a lot of the pictures that they used for the stories, the actual people who own the pictures came forward and said that, like, these pictures are misused. Like, I literally asked Vic for a hug in this photo. Why is this coming up in these articles? So there was a little bit of doubt cast in the articles, but it started getting picked up more and more. And we started seeing more voice actors and actresses in the industries kind of posting against Vic or sharing their own personal stories about, like, just the way he's been. And it's starting to be a little bit of an eye-opener for the English VA industry, just about how much shit goes on with the con culture. As a response, 15 of the 18 cons that had Vic booked for this year have canceled him, including Anime NYC. The big news that dropped today is that since he voices a character in RWBY, Rooster Teeth announced that they no longer want to work with him and are dropping him from the cast.
Oh,
yeah. So this is getting big, and I'm so conflicted on this because I don't agree with the way he is as a person. Regardless of the sexual harassment stuff, he's terrible at cons. He has a huge reputation among longtime con staff as just being an absolute pain to work with, a huge diva. He will cause unnecessary expenses. He is a very religious man, and because of that, he always demands a place to hold a sermon on Sundays, and he'll even like try and run over existing panels. So, look, I'm not going to get too much on the religious part, but he's been a known pain in the ass for con goers. I've known this for a while. I accepted it, but at the same time, I like his voice acting. So I'm super conflicted hearing all these stories because back when I was excited about Fullmetal Panic, I was through the roof happy that he was coming back to voice his character. But now it's so conflicting because I like his work, but I hate what he's doing as a person.
Welcome to what's been the case ever since anyone got hit. Ever since the whole Kevin Spacey thing.
Yeah, so it's
nah, not gonna lie. That's how I've always been about everything. At least from when you are, at least this is how I feel when I listen to rap music.
Oh my god.
Oh man, the land of shitty people.
Dude, it literally is like there's a land of shitty people, right? And you're just like, man, this guy is a complete asshole. Like give you an example, right? I was listening to the Get Rich or Die Trying album today. Mind you, one of like my top 5, I like hard top 5 albums, favorite albums of all time. 50 Cent is a complete fucking asshole. Like,
Really
like
is.
I would never ever actually want to meet him. He's probably one of the biggest douchebags. He ended Ja Rule's career, which is funny, but still.
Fuck you.
At the end of the day, it's like he's not someone I would really meet. I respect him as like a really good artist, like actually like a dude has talent, yeah. But like as a character, no. Same with R. Kelly. Will I still bump and grind? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but he's
There's a good chance. Do I think
So
he's
you're-
a monster? Yes.
So you're basically immune to this because because the rap world's been putting up with this shit for decades now.
Yeah, rap, R&B.
What was it like this? Wasn't it like this Takeshi 6ix9ine or
we don't talk
fuckwad?
about 6ix9ine anymore.
Oh, he's actual
Yeah, but-
garbage though. Like,
Yeah, I know, but like, wasn't everyone like he was? I don't.
yeah, no, he had
he's
some.
human garbage.
So many shitty people.
Well, no, there's so many
The worst
things
part-
that they
the
tried to
worst
get him
part-
on. What?
The worst part of the fucking Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse soundtrack is the fucking Lil Wayne verse on the song he's in,
Yeah,
where
Lil
he's like a
Wayne.
fucking lizard alien person talking about a Rolex in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
And it's like, God, this is the only part of this entire soundtrack that sucks is when you're talking.
they're all up. They all had like weapons or drug charges at one point. And yeah, I know everybody changes, but guess what?
No,
They don't
rappers
change. Those people are all about the light, like the rappers or whatever. Like not all of them. I think like
They about the life.
some like hold their images like a little bit high, like J. Cole and like was it Kendrick Lamar? Like they hold themselves like a certain standard, right? Like they rap
Mhm.
about it, but it's like that's not like their lifestyle, right? Like 6ix9ine, Takeshi 6ix9ine, like that's his lifestyle. Little Pump, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna do a lot of fucking blow and like fuck all these hoes, like that, like that's their lifestyle. So it's like if they don't get caught living that lifestyle, you know, then people are gonna call them out on it. Unlike 21 Savage, unrelated story, who just gets deported though.
He's British.
I think that shit was kind of funny. It's fucked up, actually, but it's kind of funny. Of all the things, right? It's like you rap about like, oh, I fuck all these bitches. I get these hot cars, blah blah. Damn, he was from Britain the entire time, the whole time. I don't even listen to him, so I don't even give a shit.
Anyway,
Yeah,
let me
we can
just-
go back
let me
to talk
just-
about anime.
Let me just wrap up why the controversy has escalated in the last couple days. So, as I was saying, a lot of VAs are kind of stepping up both in support and against Vic, and probably one of the biggest ones he's worked with for forever. Monica Rial. If anyone has watched any of Dragon Ball Super or the movies, she's the current voice of Bulma. She's the voice director for all of One Piece, and she is outstandingly against Vic in this debate.
Damn,
So
get destroyed.
this Saturday, Vic is at one of his cons, and he gives this really heartfelt speech, kind of apologizing for what he's done. But it's also one of those, like, I didn't intend to do anything. Like, it wasn't. How do I put it? He's trying to cast it as he's a very like handsy person, but it wasn't like a sexual handsy. Point is, it was honestly a heartfelt speech, and it hurts me because I'm seeing this like undeniable evidence that he's full of shit. But it was such. It felt genuine to hear it. So I'm so conflicted watching this happening, and this is becoming essentially a Me Too movement for the voice acting community. Later in the week,
Boy.
prominent cosplayer Jessie Proudmore comes out and talks about sexual harassment she's faced at cons, and one of them was regarding Vic Mignogna, and then one she said about an unnamed voice actor, and she goes into detail about what sounds like a rape story. So this goes about
my
a day
God.
goes on, and then another voice actor who I love, Todd Havercorn. For anyone who's watched Soul Eater, he voices Death the Kid. For anyone who watches Fairy Tail, he's the main character, Natsu. He's in a lot of shows. he comes forth and he says, you know, like, I really don't like that this lie is getting propagated. And he's like, I'm just going to come out and say, I'm the voice actor she's talking about, and here's what actually happened. So he goes and provides a correction to the story.
Oh my god.
Explaining what happened. So she comes out and rebukes his story, and he fires back with their Google Hangouts chat for the last, like, year.
Oh, wow.
So this is becoming a giant he said, she said, and honestly, like, this is the hardest news for me to read because I don't know who's right and who's wrong. And this is tearing the English dub community apart.
Back to subs only, I guess.
Back to subs only.
For real. This is actually terrible. Like, I hope everyone learns a really valuable lesson about sexual assault and consent out of this, because I can't take hearing stories of these people who are my childhood heroes doing terrible things or not doing terrible things. I don't even know, because there's no, like, I can't even get, like, a definitive story here. Like, I want to believe everyone who has been assaulted, but at the same time, I'm seeing this, like, at least in the Todd Havercorn story, I think he might have a defense, but Vic, what he's been doing has just been unacceptable the last decade.
You know what I don't understand, man? I get it's a power play. I get it. But, dude, you're fucking Edward Elric, man. You can get any sort of vagina. any you want. And you decide to pull this. I don't understand.
The weirdest thing is his girlfriend's like 15 years older than he is. So it's like, it's just a really...
Whoa.
Yeah, so there's all these, like...
Wait.
There's all these things claiming he's hitting on these underage girls, but at the same time, his, like, longtime partner is anything but. And Vic's not a young guy. He's in his 50s.
Hey, look, here's good news. EA says Star Wars Fallen Order is coming out this fall.
And that's it for the disappointment.
And that's it for the disappointing everything.
All sad everything. Everything is awesome.
Yes, that was terrible to read through.
Wait, isn't that movie coming out?
Yeah, Lego Movie, the second one, is coming out real soon.
This Thursday, in fact.
Real soon.
Gotta go see that. Maybe I'll have seen that by next week. That's how bad I want to see it.
Are you going over the weekend?
I don't know. Probably not, but I'd like to think I might. Oh, God. 92 on Rotten and 64 Meta? Ooh.
Sounds like it's a kid's movie.
Please be good. Don't be another fucking
Lego
Wreck-It
Ninjago.
Ralph.
That's right.
I can't. No. I can't handle another Wreck-It Ralph. Like, good, but
not that good.
No
sequel.
magic. The magicless good one. Like, hell, I don't really get to talk about this. Actually, was it? Oh, yeah, it's because we went the day after last time. Well, let's get in. We'll get into weeks. Let me add a note so I remember, because this kind of ties in. Actually, do you guys mind if I just go into my week, since I was already starting to branch into it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things I said last week and Val overheard, which is why I kind of ruined my own surprise. I took her to see Mary Poppins just the last day it was in theaters here. I took her to see the new Mary Poppins before it left theaters as part of our 4-year anniversary. And I gotta say, while I don't think the movie is as good for me as the first one was, I don't remember the first one that well, because it really has been we should have rewatched the first one beforehand, but maybe that would have actually hurt this movie, I wonder. I definitely think there's actually, funny enough, in a Mary Poppins movie, there's a few plot decisions I don't really agree with. Basically, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember the first one at all, but pretty much in the first Mary Poppins, I don't think she ever did anything that was obviously magical in the real world. Like, you could almost buy that it was all make-believe.
Are we ignoring that she used to fly everywhere with the umbrella?
But outside of that, like, I know that was silly, but like, and that was the magic thing that made it like, ooh, man. But legitimately, like, all the dancing scenes and everything, and like in the animated world, like, it makes it seem like it could have just been imagination, kind of. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like it was breaking the rules of real world. You could have justified it. Like, that's how you could justify, oh, maybe the kids, as they grew up, thought it wasn't real anymore because it wasn't actually real. Regardless, in this movie, she literally does stuff with magic. Like, one of the scenes is she floats up to get an object up high in front of, like, 20 people.
Homie, I don't know.
Super obvious.
It's super obvious and real, and it just felt a little silly. That was the only thing. The real reason I want to talk about it, though, is because, like, Wreck-It Ralph 2 didn't feel like there was that spark of magic there that was there for the first one. Even though this movie wasn't really made for me, I actually feel like I could see that Mary Poppins Returns could actually be that magical experience for a kid that the first one was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't resonate perfectly with me. I actually enjoyed it more than I expected to. I didn't super love it, but I liked it a lot. But it was really cool because I could actually see how a kid could look at this with that kind of wide-eyed wonder that we had as kids when we saw, like, Mary Poppins or, like, Lion King or that kind of animated Disney movie.
Yeah.
So, unlike the shitty Beauty and the Beast movie and what looks like the Aladdin movie that people are worried about, this actually legitimately seemed like it had a little bit of that magic to me, which was really impressive. Speaking of fucking magic...
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
No show has ever cast such a spell of making me cry my eyes out as fucking Violet Evergarden.
I really was not expecting this when I recommended this to you.
Fucking Val watched this on her own while I was at Magic.
I warned her this show was going to destroy her.
And she made me watch it and rewatched it with me. Dude, this show is so fucking good. It's crazy. Tyler, I don't know if you'd cry, but you should watch this show just for the production. Like,
when I talk about Kyoto animation, this is what I'm talking about. This
show is drop dead gorgeous. Yeah. Like, every second is so pretty, and the soundtrack is so good. This is one of the few shows where I actually listen to the soundtrack, not like an opening theme. Mm-hmm. Like My Hero, you listen to the opening themes and you say run. This show, I'll put on the 1.5-hour compilation of the soundtrack.
I could not have predicted this shit.
Why?
I did not think you were going to love this that much. No, I'm not upset. I'm just like, I'm upset that I didn't predict this correctly.
I loved this show. Everyone who talks about the show knows what episode it is. Literally cried for 5 minutes straight. This show is so fucking gets you in the feels so hard.
Nah, I want to live angrily, so I'm just gonna keep watching Shield Hero.
Keep watching Shield Hero.
I want to be just angry all the time.
He wants to not see from rage, not see from
tears. So funny enough, just because you said live angry, Tyler, when I was at work today, I had 2 tabs of totally conflicting music open on my computer that I was bouncing between at work. I had the Doom soundtrack and Laid Back Camp on another
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's also a good soundtrack.
The bipolar mixtape, I'm familiar.
Between fucking BFG Division and then the song that closes out fucking... Laid back. You can't even make the noises because it's so mechanical and weird. But anyway, if I was remaking my birthday top 10 animated video, Violet Evergarden would be on that list.
Damn.
Like, that's how fucking good it is. It would probably just... Do I have the notes on that list? I'm going to see right now if I can, like, actually decide what show I would kick for Violet Evergarden. Where did I write that down? Okay, I don't remember what my list was. Do I have it saved? No. I'm just seeing if it's on my OneDrive before I... Ooh! Wait, no, that's 2018 birthday special. Fuck! Okay, I don't have it. Oh, I thought I saved it on my fucking OneDrive. Whatever. Regardless, I am pretty sure I would kick... I don't actually know what show. I'd have to look at the whole list again. But I could probably kick something down off the top 10 to make room because Violet Evergarden was so good. If you're looking for a show that has a little bit of action but is just gorgeous, it sounds gorgeous, and it saying like you cry and everything, it sounds like it's this really like lame show or something.
It's more that the show is really good at making you resonate with it emotionally. It's not that it's inherently
It
sad.
really does.
It's just that it's really good at connecting with you.
Exactly. It's not. It takes things that are real sad experiences, and unlike another movie where you like, this isn't what happens in one of the episodes, but you know how in every show like oh the old mentor dies or something like that. There's no mentor character in Violet, so it doesn't cross over. But you know how like Tyler, like, oh, the movie started half hour and the mentor dies and maybe he comes back later or something, and you're supposed to feel really sad and you feel a little sad. Like in Violet, that kind of experience hits you much deeper because you resonate with what's happening. The writing is so good, and you resonate with Violet as this character so much that even though she feels no emotions, because she's like super PTSD,
Damn.
so much PTSD,
so much pissed.
like, but you feel the world around her, and you feel like if you were in that situation, how you would resonate, and it's amazing to have this emotional connection to a show. It's actually mind-boggling. Yeah, we actually watched the special episode that Freeman didn't even watch yet, which didn't have any. Which I actually teared up a little bit at. Val didn't. But yeah, Violet Evergarden was so good. But to talk about the one other anime thing, because we already talked about Shield here, Slime was still good. Freeman hasn't watched Slime yet.
No, I gotta watch it. Probably Thursday. I'm gonna watch it.
The new arc is starting. That's what I know you saw a hint of it, but it full force.
Hell yeah, we're getting
yesterday.
into politics.
No.
Oh no, I like the politics.
No. This is like...
Oh no, it's Battle Shonen, isn't it?
Big fight time coming. I don't even want to say anything because Tyler would think it was cool, but I want you to see it first, Freeman.
All right.
The other thing I watched was I finally sat down and watched the third Godzilla anime movie. Because if you guys remember, I was watching those anime movies as they came out on Netflix. I was actually watching the dub, and first two were okay. This one really... That sound I just made, like that whoopee cushion sound, that's this movie. Like, there's like 5 seconds. There's interesting ideas here. There's like 5 seconds of really cool stuff. And so... even worse than like the first two or a normal Godzilla movie. Like, remember how everyone complained about Godzilla 2014, the American one?
Yeah.
Oh, there's too much people. Show more monsters. This movie is like 10 times worse than that movie in terms of that. Like, all these characters, it's like, just shut the fuck up and show Godzilla. Like, okay, the one thing I'll say for this series, and especially this movie, makes you think Godzilla is not big, he's not fast, he's not fast, but he is a literal moving mountain in this movie. He must weigh as much as a fucking small island. Like, it's crazy how much mass and weight they attribute to Godzilla. It's really cool. But guess what? That means he moves very little during fight scenes against things that move like Ghidorah does in this. And he kind of does cool stuff, but he kind of just stands there and like, oh, like, I love the weight that they give Godzilla, but then he's only on screen for 5 seconds, so he does like 3 arm swipes and roars a little bit, and that's it. Like it, and this is so smashing you in the head with this anti-technology message. Technology is the evil of forever. Like, the villains turn out to be this like, the alien people who are super into math predicted that the universe has this god of destruction and it's Ghidorah, so they start praying to Ghidorah to kill people so they can join fucking so stupid.
That's right, you thought it was Godzilla, but it was actually me. Fern Gully.
Oh god. God damn it.
Like, the literal end of the movie, I'm just gonna spoil it. The main character takes the last piece of technology, which is this mech that somehow survived, and this girl who is infected with nanobots and flies it at Godzilla, so Godzilla destroys them and destroys all technology.
Oh my god.
And then the rest of the 5 surviving human, literally all but 5. This is not a happy movie. This whole series, but especially this one, fucking depressing as shit. They all just become tribesmen with the tribe people that are like 25,000 year descendants of humans.
Oh, I got to disappear for 30 seconds.
But
Keep going about this movie.
Okay. Keep going.
Man, yeah, fuck this. What a letdown. All I can say is I'm more hyped for the new Godzilla movie though, because my god, I need some Godzilla that's good. All I've had for like the past year or so are these Godzilla movies that have just gone down and down and down in quality.
Damn. Well, yeah, because they're saving it.
No, they're not.
They're saving it for the good movie, Tim.
Tyler, this is like that's not even like.
Yeah, what do you
they've
mean?
never even spoken to each other.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's exactly what's happening. You just can't see the big picture.
It's just fucking depressing. I don't know. Like, the way that, like, Ghidorah is, like, this interdimensional monster that comes out of black holes and stuff. That's cool. That was neat. And, Godzilla can't attack him, but literally Godzilla gets saved by a human fighting a guy who's controlling Ghidorah. And then Godzilla beats up Ghidorah with, like, one laser breath, one atomic breath, and, like, one punch.
Bah.
And that's it. And then Godzilla just is kind of there. And then the humans live together. And, like, Mothra is there in a dream. There's Dream Mothra.
Oh, God.
And Mechagodzilla was just a bunch of buildings in the second movie.
Sounds
and
retarded.
Like, man, it's one of those things where it's like when you look at a piece of art and you're like, someone was really trying something here, and I get what they were going for, but man, did they not pull it off. Like, the idea, Tyler, you probably get it. Like, the idea of a Godzilla that is literally a giant mobile brick is actually cool because he would be that big and heavy. He doesn't move fast.
Yeah, he just waddles.
But, like, let him do something with that. Don't just sit there.
What? He waddles, though.
It helps him.
All right, I'm gonna rush through my last 2 things. Today
forever.
Sorry, I know. I'm trying to stop. I promise. I bought way too much stuff on Steam today. The Steam Chinese New Year sale started, and I bought 4 games on sale today.
What did you buy?
I actually wouldn't mind comments on which I should play for the channel, because both Star Wars LPs that are going on at this moment are, like, a week away from ending. I bought Dishonored 2 plus The Death of the Outsider, which is apparently, like, an expansion standalone thing. I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is that game that everyone talked about was like the next Witcher after Witcher.
That game looks so involved. I was watching gameplay of it.
Well, again, it was only $30, and I couldn't help myself. I bought Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is what I'm probably going to play next, because that's finally out in all of its bullshit. And Vampire, that Eurojank vampire RPG thing.
Eurojank vampire RPG.
Yep.
Based off of what that description was, you should play that.
So I plan on playing all 4 of them. I bought these 4 games specifically because these are all games I have a strong interest in playing, no joke. But yeah, I bought all those. Comments on what I should play next. But I want to play all of them, obviously, eventually, like I said. But part of the problem was like, I'm not playing Metro Exodus for about a year, so time to find some games to fill in the meantime.
Damn.
And I won't even talk about the Star Wars thing. I don't even remember what I was going to say.
You're just going to get mad.
No. This is an announcement. As of right now, there are 2 episodes live, but by the time this comes out, the first session will be done. So I did, along with Season 2 of Republic Commando, which I did and finished since last podcast and is still coming out, I also did the original Battlefront 2 over this weekend in a quick 2-session thing of the campaign of that game to compare it to the new Battlefront 2. And I decided I'm going to end that series on President's Day, which is Monday, February 18th at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do a multiplayer live stream with a voice chat on Discord to finale that game, and the description of episode 4, 5, and 6 of that series is going to have the link for Discord. But yeah, I just wanted to take that game out on a blaze of glory because that Battlefront 2 game is still better than the new one, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Having played the campaign, someone made a really good comment. The new game feels like it's kind of going for like a small squad, like almost Metal Gear kind of feel.
Interesting.
That's what he said. I don't know. But the old game makes you feel like you're part of an army, not this unique character, which was actually kind of the strength of Battlefront, was kind of this feeling of you're just a soldier who's like in this group. You know, it was much more like the story of Battlefront 2 is you're the 501st, not your Inferno Squad, aka your Iden Versio, you're this one character, and then you jump around to like Han and shit for one mission. Like, it feels like you're much more part of a big thing, which is actually kind of a cool, unique thing, because so many games are just about the one guy, you know? It was kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, so those are both ending soon. Then I'm going to move on. I actually also, have either of you ever worked with N64 emulators?
A little bit. They're mostly shitty.
Yeah, they're not that great.
So, I've talked about it before. I want to do some N64 LPs of Season 2s of, like, Battle for Naboo.
Kong 64. I hear you loud and
No,
clear.
it's just Star Wars. Just Star Wars. Because those are games that I don't like my original Season 1 of, and I'd like to play again on, like, a non-shitty setup like I used to have. But trying to get an emulator to work, I'm already like, I just opened up the ROM for Battle for Naboo. Why is it, like, zoomed out like a million miles? Like, I don't even understand what's happening.
They're all shitty.
I'll figure it out, but anyway, Tyler, go ahead with your week. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
About time. Took like 20 fucking
minutes.
years.
I know, I'm sorry. I had an anime to talk about. Freeman gets it.
Anime.
I understand. I can't fault you for that.
Beat off the Star Wars. Like, I understand.
That was like 2 seconds. That wasn't most of it. It was mostly anime.
Star Wars. Anyway,
God.
I'm gonna talk about the best fucking game out right now anyway, and that's Resident Evil 2. That shit is so fucking dope. It's weird too. I'm just gonna talk briefly about it and my expectations, how they were flipped upside down like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But basically, I expected for me to be like, yo, this Kingdom Hearts 3 is a 10, and this Resident Evil 2 is like, whatever. Right?
Fuck no.
Completely different. It's more of like Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, yeah, it's whatever. Like, this is all right. I'll play it. But Resident Evil 2 is like, oh fuck, shit, Jesus Christ, this is fucking awesome. Oh my god, like, that's good. In short, if you are even entertaining the idea of playing a horror game, I would recommend this. And this is not a recommendation I give out lightly, especially with like anything that has to do with like horror games or anything like that, or any movies. I think I would like to say I have a high standard for that. The atmosphere is great. The soundtrack is really good. Like, the whole thing is pretty immersive. And if you've played the original Resident Evil 2, I would say it offers a lot more for people to, like, if they've played it before, like the original one, they offer a lot more like incentive for you to come back and enjoy it this time around. So I'm going to try and play more of that. Maybe I might play a little bit of that in between Kingdom Hearts. As far as shows, I'm not really watching anything aside from Shield Hero.
Tyler, I know I said it before, but like, Violet's only 13 episodes.
And it's on Netflix in 8 languages.
Oh yeah, was it? Leslie and I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Good
hell
call.
yeah, dude! That's another good one.
You guys are gonna pass me now. I'm only on like episode 5, I think.
Yeah, I think we're on episode like 11 or 12. I don't know. We watch them in like short bursts, and like, I don't know, like we don't hang out as much. But when we do, we watch that.
Dude, Brooklyn's real good.
Yeah, so that's pretty good so far. And then I'm also prepping to move.
Oh yeah, you guys are almost done, aren't you?
You have 1 more month.
Yeah. More like less than a month, so I gotta start moving my shit out.
Holy shit. Wait, are you guys done at the start of March?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have to cancel my renter's insurance.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, that's wild.
Yeah. So I'll figure out what's going on after that. Well, I mean,
you moving home?
Well, yeah, I'm moving back into my parents' house for now. No shame, listeners. If you can live with your parents, if you can mooch.
Hey, dude, I'm doing it literally now. I moved back home. If you have the opportunity to save some money, do it.
Yeah, yo, for real though. But
Millennials,
millennials, yeah, we ruin everything. According
to it's your turn next.
Actually, you know what we ruined? We ruined the Super Bowl.
No,
just kidding. Just kidding. Everyone else ruined the Super Bowl.
Everyone else ruined it.
I just wanted to slip that in there somehow.
Just saved it, and
they fucked that up.
It was so
how did they manage to pick the worst path? That's like the meme of like stepping off. Like damn. What is it? Like the meme of like there's nothing around and you manage to walk into the only object in the area. Like how did they literally made the worst call?
I mean, no one.
For those of you who don't know,
cares.
Look, the Super Bowl happened, and there was that big petition for Sweet Victory to be played, and instead of playing the song or just doing nothing, which was the also better option, the Super Bowl referenced the fact that the SpongeBob thing exists, and then didn't play it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not fucking surprised.
It was so fucking stupid.
I'm not surprised at all.
But, like, it's amazing. That's what I mean. Like, they sidestepped open ground into a pole. Like, how did you manage to pick the one bad way to do that?
Because it's the NFL.
Fuck you. Yeah.
That's okay. There was footage online of a Dallas Stars hockey game doing it at halftime and proving that hockey is better than football once and for all.
Well, based on just that game alone, anyone could say that, but
oh yeah, I also saw the scores.
Holy shit, that was a boring ass game to watch.
Val and I were doing a double punch of How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2 because she loves those movies a ton, and the third one's coming. So I've never seen the second, so we rewatched and did the second. And the whole time I just see score pop-ups on my phone, and it's like 3-0, 3-3, 3-3, 3-3. Oh, 10-3, game's over. Or 13-3, game's over. And apparently the commercials were shitty too, even.
There was the Game of Thrones one I like. So I'm only gonna talk about this one commercial just because Game of Thrones related. So it starts off with the usual like Bud Light medieval shit with the dilly, and they have the Bud Knight show up and he's gonna joust someone. And you think he's gonna win, except he gets fucking dominated, and then they reveal who the opponent is. It's the Mountain, and the Mountain crushes in the eyes of the Bud Knight, just like what's his face from the Trial by Combat.
Yeah, and the red whatever.
And then immediately one of the dragons comes up and just roasts all the Bud Light people, and then they reveal that it's just a Game of Thrones commercial. And that was the only like good commercial this year.
That's anyway. Tyler, you got anything else for your week? Because we got to wrap this shit up so we can go to bed.
Yeah, we know because you fucking took too goddamn long.
Hey, man.
Nah, I'm good.
No topic.
I'm good. Freeman, go ahead. Go for it, my dude.
All right. So, Kingdom Hearts 3. And we'll see you guys next time.
Kingdom Hearts.
Honestly, no, for real. So I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been going through a lot of job interviews lately, and all of them are telling me the same thing. If you don't have JavaScript, specifically Angular, it's a no-go as a dev right now. So I'm probably gonna have to spend a lot of time this weekend like making sure I know Angular before I talk to literally anyone else about job changes. So that's probably priority 1, and then priority 2 is beating the shit out of Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I've also had job things I've talked to you guys about recently, so it's all good for everybody right now.
Everyone's got making moves.
Tyler's moving out of his house. Tyler's trying to find a new job. Freeman might need to find a new job. I might need to find a new job. Hell yeah. It's all good.
It's great. Life is great.
At least I have anime.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is
great. When in doubt, Shield Hero comes out Wednesdays at 11:30. So,
all right, you guys got anything else?
Nah, I got shit.
I think I'm Gucci.
We might. I don't know. Maybe we'll try to play Rainbow Six this weekend. Give you guys another session of that.
I'm trying to play Rainbow Six.
Real quick on Rainbow Six, I was watching. I think it's episode 4 of us playing. And it's fun seeing certain things happen from Tim's perspective. Like I was at the part where I had just let my shield get the shit kicked out of it for an entire wave, And like Tim didn't notice I was holding this doorway for someone to shoot these guys, and I'm standing with legit like 7 enemies, and Tim just runs past me to go do something else, and I'm sitting here like, no wonder no one helped me. But then you come back and I'm arguing with Tyler about how damaged my shield is. He's like, I don't see anything. So Tyler starts just popping off shots into my shield as you walk in the room, and the deflect kills you. Like,
no, it doesn't. No. We remember
it downed you, but
no, was it Luigi shot him?
Wait, for real?
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, in even in the video, right? Because we were talking about it. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. There's no fucking way. And then it's like Luigi, like, I shot you.
Up.
Yeah, he's like, I shot you.
Point is, that whole bit where you just walk in and Tyler's just unloading on my shield completely unprompted was the greatest thing.
All right, well, we'll try to do that for next time. Like I said, Battlefront 2, Republic Commando, and let me know what I should play other than that this weekend. But until next week, maybe we'll have a topic and go on for a lot less time about other stuff. Because, man, we did not have a lot of topics, and we covered a lot of time this week. Thank you all so much for listening. My name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
This is just Tyler.
And we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.